Yo, salute. Knicks Real Talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Knicks Real Talk, we all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine Bronx Jedi 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Knicks Real Talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight. Make it happen.
Knicks Real Talk, let's get it poppin'. We hoppin' like toppin' and the Jumpman brand, ain't no stoppin'. Divine and Bronx Jedi 7-6. We live from Facebook, Twitter to Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno with the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we flow with the night show. So spike them likes below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up. Cause it's Knicks Real Talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Now you place the chats. When I pace that under space where our faces at. We lace these cats with news, notes, stats. Game recap, no hyperbole, we straight facts. In fact, we say it lit like a candle throughout the handle on the panel. We violent, so subscribe to the channel. Knicks Real Talk. Knicks Real Talk.
What's going on? Knicks Real Talk, Divine. I'm in here, man. Salute everybody. About to get it popping tonight, man. We're going to talk some Knicks a little bit, man. You know what it is, man. Wednesday, September the 15th, man. I know it's just another night, man. Everybody was grinding all day long out there doing what they had to do, man. But now we're going to, get in. Down here coming our way, man. So it might get a little bit every now and then. So I apologize for that. But overall, man, salute though, man. I'm ready to get into it. Thank y'all for coming aboard. We just gonna get into this nickname, man. Salute to the streets of buzzing. Appreciate you coming on, showing some love, my brother. We're gonna get into it though. We're gonna get into a little bit of Nick night about team 3-point shooting percentage. Could be one of the top of the league. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get into a little bit of Vildozas back in New York, get ready for training camp, and what it means for him to be able to do this thing. So we're gonna get into him a little bit. And we're gonna talk about getting ready to come up for this training camp about to start in a couple of weeks, man. And so it's about to get crazy again. Salute KJ, my brother. Salute Tim Smith. But we're gonna get into that, man. And I'm gonna open up the panel for the Garden at the world most famous arena. So I'm ready to get into it, man. I'm looking forward to the season. I think it's going to be a really good season. If everything bounce the right way, I think it's going to be a good season for us. I just want to make sure that we as Knicks fans being a part of that, man. So we just got to bring you Knicks Real Talk here, man, just to keep you in the fold, keep you in the loop. But I'm ready to get into it, though. Like I said, salute to everybody out there, man. Hope everybody had a good day today, man. First of all, I just want to start off let me say salute to Bronx Sports Jedi, and doing the Yankee calling over there, man. So he's on the Yankee Network for a while right now. He be on BS Sports Jedi Network doing his thing with the Yankees. But the brother be back in pretty soon. You know what I mean? Once he get that thing under come to a close. But yeah, man. For the Knicks, I'm looking forward to the season. Like I said, man, it's that time now, man. We get ready to go into training camp. We had a pretty decent summer. You know what I mean? And I think we made the team better. I really do. I think in all facets, I think we did a good job there. So we got to see how it plays out on the floor. What's going to happen when they hit the court against the other teams in the association, and how they're going to pan out. So but I like what we did. I like the moves that the Knicks have made. I'm content with that, and I think they just got to go out there and put it together. You know what I mean? And I really do, but think they can do that just due to the fact that the team played last year. The continuity, they brought the play the same, a lot of the players came back, got the same coach, same system, same philosophy, same everything. Don't nothing change, you know what I'm saying? But we add a little bit more talent. So Maverick March, my man, Maverick Max, salute, man. I appreciate you also as well, man, subscribing today. Thank you so much for that subscribe and becoming part of Knicks Real Talk, man. I appreciate you for that. Man, but I think we come back with just about the same team and a little bit more depth from the two-way free agents that wasn't on the team we signed last year, and the rookies that we brought in. I think we got a pretty decent team down there to add to the fold of what we had last year. So we'll break that down and get into all that as I go through the stat thing. But the Vildozas situation, this is going to be important for that young man. That's why I want to bring him up today about Vildozas, because he is returning back from over the way, coming to New York, get ready to come here to get ready to start a training camp this week. And and when we first signed him, I was like, wow, Knicks got a guy from overseas that they're going to try to be a part of this thing. And when I looked at it, when I was watching this play, I was psyched about what I seen from a skill set. But then when he got to the Olympics and went through the pre-qualifiers and all that, he didn't show out. He didn't not show out. Excuse me. He didn't perform too well. So then it just made me have questions about not his talent, but the talent that we brought in with Grimes and McBride and all these guys. And we deep. The Knicks got Quickly them. We got Derrick Rose. I mean, they deep. The Knicks are deep. So is he going to have a chance to crack that? You know what I mean? Because he, is he going to be able to be a part of that 15? Do you think the Knicks took that gamble and said, well, you know what, some of it is non-guaranteed. We pay to this amount of money to get him over here, and whatever the case may be. But I'm hoping that this guy don't come in. I hope he come in training camp like, nah, I'm coming here to try to make this team, and I hope everybody do that. But if he come in here trying to make that team, he's gonna be interested. And for what I've seen, like I said on highlights, he's got a decent game, But can he do that against NBA players remains to be seen. But I hope so. I hope he go in training camp. This is a good problem to have. If this man can go in there and compete, and from what I've seen from a skill set, the way he passed the ball, catch and shoot, he can shoot off the dribble. If that can translate to the NBA court, and then I really think that we got a chance to really have something special here, because not when I mean special, he's another piece of the puzzle. If he cracks that rotation, that God forbid Kemba Walker, somebody have an issue, or Derrick Rose, that is he good enough besides McBride to come in here and help add to the team's win total. So we'll see. But I hope he come in here. When he get here this week, man, he go to Tarrytown and get up with the guys and just start working out. Doing what you got to do. I don't know what the severeness of his injury, but I do know he need to, once he get here, man, just go in there and do what you do. You're a basketball player. You play professional basketball. You're a basketball player. You just go do what basketball players do. Go into training camp and get ready to, get it popping. You know what I mean? So let's see how that work out for that young man, guys. But I think I know it's he's not the most. I think he got a chance to make the team. What part of the rotation, I don't know. I do think he got it. I think because of his skill set level. Just like if he translate, he can make it happen. He got a good chance. So we'll see. But like I said, he's gonna have to play out them other cats, the McBride and Grimes them on another level when it comes to a chance to me of making that rotation. So he got to go in there and try to perform. We'll see, man. I just wanted to bring that up because it was part of the news that he's kind of headed back to New York. You know what I mean? So like I said, he probably be in Tarrytown and if his ankle was good, he get ready to go in there and do what he got to do. So I just wanted to bring that part of the segment up because I thought it was Nick news, and I brought it to you. You know what I mean? And but yeah, man, salute to the chat, man. Will, streets are buzzing. Maverick, Mark Fry, KJW, all you guys, man. Salute to y'all. And like I said, I want to see what this cat can do. I really do. I want to see what Luka Vildozas can bring to the Knicks. You know what I mean? And he get a fair shot like everybody else. Let's hope. I hope it's for the better. And if not, then like I said, then you have to get down to the business part of it. Does it make sense to hold on to that little non-guaranteed whatever? So and then you have to take it from there. But if he make the team, and he truly be fine. I like his talent. I like his skill set. I hope that it can translate to to the NBA. If it can translate to the NBA, you just never know. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But pro though, he's a pro. Playing in the pro league, so he does have experience. And that's a good thing too, man. I'm gonna bring my panel in here, man. I got CT from the streets of Buck. I got a man KJ in the building. Yo, salute to you, gentlemen. Salute.
CT.
What's good?
Yeah, man.
Love the hat.
Appreciate it, man.
Both of you.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all coming on, man. Canal in the building, salute. Yeah, man. I was just going over this Vildozas thing, man. The young man about coming into New York this week. We're getting ready to try to get headed for training camp. You know what I mean? And just hoping to see what this cat could bring to the table. And see if we're gonna be able to be a part of this. The Knicks went out there and got him last year. You know what I mean? And now they're gonna bring it. He get to come to training camp. Competition is up. He do what he got to do. You know what I mean? This is where he got to show and prove whether he's going to be able to stay in, whether he's going to play for the Knicks or whether he might just go back overseas or go to another NBA team. But it's very interesting to see what he's going to do, man. Kevin Taylor, salute to you, my brother. I appreciate you. To see what he's going to do. You know what I mean? For sure. What do you think about that, CT, man? You know, I know you have a little buzz on it, man. What's your gut feeling on this gentleman?
On Luca, man, yeah, it changes day by day with him. You know, we came in with a lot of hope. You know, I think I was excited last season when we picked him up. You know, I thought he could help us in the playoffs, and then turned out to not be available. And then I started looking into his game more. You know, watched him in the Olympics closely. Was underwhelmed. Then I heard of the injury. I thought, maybe I'll give him a chance. See if he can get that right and show what he can do. But then we picked up McBride. We picked up Kemba. A lot of things changed since the day we signed Luca. Now he's become a bit more of an afterthought. But I still believe in his ability. I just don't know if this is the right situation for him. Let's say he makes the squad. I've got another fan in McBride, so I think he's down the pecking order. So yeah, we'll see, man. I think he could beat out Bacon, make that final spot. Maybe still an insurance policy for Kemba, for Rose. I think that would be wise. So I wouldn't be mad at that. I also think Bacon could get a chance. I know KJ, likes Bacon as well.
I agree. I think he's his for this training camp only. I think he's here to work all the guards out. Luka, I think we could save about $4.5 million if we cut him. Right now, I think he's just here just for training camp only. He didn't really show me much in summer league. You got a guy in Grimes and McBride that came, especially McBride. We seen what he can do. So I don't think Luka is really ready right now. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't see any room from what I've seen based on summer league for him on this team.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough situation for sure. And but I guess they just, like I said, they got to go in there, and he just got to go in there and do what he do. You know what I mean? Because the guy been playing basketball professional for what 3-4 seasons, maybe longer than that, maybe 3 or 4 seasons. So I mean, Euro League type guy. He know how to play the game of basketball. It just is it can he bring that to over here? And I can't even really just judge him off what happened in, from my perspective anyway. Coming out of the Olympic in the pre-trial and all that, because I just think that sometimes, you didn't have it right then and there, and not making an excuse for him, but it happens. That just was one of his best weeks of his basketball career. I don't know, with the pressure, the traveling. So I think the good thing about it, he get to go into training camp and prove himself. That's what I like about it. He get to go in there and prove himself. If you that dude and you think you're supposed to be on this Knicks roster, you better go in there and prove yourself. Right. It's really nothing other than that. He got to. So I mean, I like what he do though. As far as his skill set, I like the way he can pass. I like his catch and shoot. I like him shooting off the dribble. He got a good court vision. I love them things about him. Like I said, he does have some skills that other guys might don't, on that team, and some guys might have skills that he don't. But I think from what I've seen, he know how to shoot a basketball. Maybe I don't know what his career percentage is going to be, but he got the basics down. He can shoot the ball. He's savvy. He got that good vision across the court, man. I mean, him and Kapava and them, they good. They come from a basketball culture, so we'll see. But CT, I just think that I would like to see the training camp. I just want to be fair, to see, because I haven't seen them a lot since the first time I ever thought about it was when the Knicks were going to sign him. You know what I mean? So I never really followed his career, nothing like that. But I just don't think the Knicks would have spent that money. Like, I'm not saying they would have. Didn't make sense to spend that money like that if you knew that he wasn't going to be that dude for you. To me, at the front office, doesn't make sense to say, you know what, I'm gonna spend $2 million. I'm gonna buy this cat out. I'm gonna give him some money, even though you knew he wasn't playing, because he did get some guaranteed money, right? Or is the guarantee coming up?
Yeah, man. It's challenging for him as well. Trying to move to a new situation. I feel for him. All I could ask is that the Knicks give him a fair shake. Across, let him rock in training camp. Hopefully he can get healthy, play some preseason. Because the last thing I want is him to just be unfortunate situation, timing, and be injured. And then he goes to another team, and shows that he can be good. So we're the ones that invested in him, brought him here and gave him the chance. And I think I'd like to see it work out. But also sometimes it's just not the right situation. We've increased our roster. We've upgraded. We had to say goodbye to Frank. Frank's, we'll talk about him. But we had to say goodbye to Reggie. It's all part of making some moves, making upgrades, and give him a fair chance. But I also like some of the other dudes we brought in. What's his name? Amira Sims, MJ Walker can get the other two-way spots. Unfortunately, Bacon and Vildoza just weren't eligible for the two-way spot, so one of them's going to lose out.
Right.
And don't forget, we still got Rokas too. To me, Rokas look better than Vildoza in the summer league. Even though we can't base everything on summer league, but I just don't feel there's any room for him unless he has a great preseason in a couple weeks and he's just looking great. So we'll see what happens.
Right, yeah, and that's what it's about. That's what makes this thing so fun. It's about go in there and do what you got to do, handle your business, and with the talent you got, see if you can do it better than the next guy that's next to you. That's the only way you're gonna get to play. He had to go in there and show that he better than what them cats can do. And if not, oh well. It is what it is. You got to move on and may the best man win. And that's, I think, why training camp going to be so exciting. I think there's going to be some real good competition there. We got players going to make players better. We got rookies who trying to prove themselves, so they're going to get better by playing against the veterans. The veterans going to get better just by we got some aggressive young boys with a lot of energy who can play defense going up against them in practice. So it's going to be real competitive there, man. And let's just hope that may the best man win with that. But on another note, man, my main thing was this 3-point thing. I really want to get into that tonight because I really do believe, compared to last year's roster, Knicks shot 39% from the strike of the team last year, and I think we got better. And I think we got players who gonna get better. For let's say Obi Toppin, he shot 30. I think Obi shoots higher than that this year. You know what I mean? I just think that if RJ and Randall and all those guys keep saying numbers, was a phenomenal 41%, 40% for RJ. Quickly 39%. Alex Burks falls 40%. If them cats keep the number, then Fournier, what he do, and I really do believe in with Grimes and them cats, even when they get spot minutes, whatever, they can knock down the 3-ball good. And I think Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier coming to are already two guys in your starting lineup that shoot 40%. You bringing in two shooters, two scorers with two guys already dropping 40% from the three on a regular basis. And RJ had a pretty, what I would say, coming out the gate, not so good shooting wise, but then he wound up shooting 40 at the end of the year. So salute to RJ. But I did think that this team from the 3-point line this year with the additional Fournier and Kemba Walker helping stretch that floor a little more. I think that, and I'm having Obi Toppin and which I think he will, and Emmanuel quickly probably have a better year than last year, shoot a little bit the ball, a little bit more decent guys. I see the Knicks to be in the top 10 in 3-point shooting for sure next year.
Oh yeah, I was screaming. Yeah, I've been screaming for us to shoot more because we have better shooters now, and we shot really well last season, and we increased in that area. Let's shoot it more. I think that's where the game's going, and it'll open the door up. With Kemba able to pull up off the screen, the attention that Mitch has to have, the gravity to the rim as well. That's going to give these guys extra space to get their shot up. We know Evan Fournier shoots well as well off the catch and the dribble, shoots well on the Olympics. Kemba, let's hope RJ takes another leap. I think we can be within the top 10 teams in 3-point shooting. What do you fellas think?
Absolutely. Think about it. We're replacing Kemba with Peyton and Fournier with RJ Bullock. So if those starters can give us, I don't know, say they shoot, say per game between starters and the bench, we're shooting at least 43 pointers per game. We can make 20, 25 out of those 40. it can happen. And like I said, I think last year our first team, that's why they struggled a lot because the inconsistency of RJ Bullock. So imagine Fournier and Kemba shooting, and then you come in off the bench, then you come in. D Rose stepped his 3-point shooters up. You got D Rose, Quickly, and Burks as your 3-pointer, and then also Compton too as well. So I can see this team shooting at least 40 to 53 pointers per game. Now they shoot 53. That's a little crazy, but I can see it happening.
Do you guys know, has Tibbs ever had a team that's better 3-point shooting than we are now? I don't think so. I
don't think so.
We might. It's hard. There's no test case to really see.
Chicago seemed, he didn't have that many 3-pointers. I mean, he had Kurt Heinrich in Chicago. D Rose wasn't a good 3-point shooter when he was a rookie. So Minnesota, you had Wiggins, but no, I think you're right. CT is no. It's great point. Great point.
Yeah. His individual numbers of the Knicks team last year, shooting a 3-ball. RJ 40%, Bullock 41, Alex Burks 41. Okay, Kevin Knox 39, even Frank 47%. But you had Elfrid was shooting 28%. And you go on, you like Emmanuel shot 38% from the cherry stripe. Julius Randle 41%. Derrick Rose 41%. If you add Evan Fournier 39-40 to that with Kemba Walker's 37-38%, I think a little above league average, and Grimes and McBride, let's just say for sake they pop off. Let's say they pop off. That right there is some good 3-point shooting. Yeah.
Absolutely. Peyton was 28% from 3-pointers. Wow.
Wow. And I said Obi shot 30. So let's say Obi go up to 35, 36 this year. You know what I mean? And I just think that they got some knockdown shooters all up and down there, and that's why I'm giving them. That's why I'm really how would you say it? I'm high on this team. That's why I'm high on them, because I do believe they shot the good from a percentage point last year. They shot the lead well, 39%. The Knicks shot last year. I believe they eclipsed that this year with that team. Easy.
Absolutely.
Easy.
Absolutely.
I just think they eclipsed that. And like I said, 39% last year. I think they shoot 41, 42 this year.
Fournier's a great shooter. If Kemba's knees hold up a good, he shoots incredibly well. He's going to get a lot of open looks. The key to me in training camp should be, share the ball, because someone's going to end up with an open look with this squad, this look offensively. Julius can take it low, beat his man, and then the defense will collapse. Dudes in the corner, like you said, Toppin in the corner, shooting better. RJ shooting, I think he'll improve as well. He's got that new coach, Drew Hanlon. He's working back with him again. Improved his shot. I can't wait to get it popping. The only thing we're really missing is an inside post threat. If do you guys think if Kemba and Fournier are there on the perimeter, does that force Julius down low some more? Because he played a lot at the top of the key.
You know what? I do depend on it. Do depend on, let me say, CT, the leap of Mitchell Robinson. And what I mean by that, how Tom Thibodeau going to design the offense. If he say, you know what, let's spread the floor with all four of you guys on the wing, and Mitchell Robinson there, they might say, listen, throw the ball to him. You know what I mean? I think it's a good problem to have. I think it all depends with Tom Thibodeau how they're going to run this thing. If they're going to start from, or are they going to go and put Julius in the middle again? You know what I mean, or whatever, and throw feed into Julius and work their way back out that way. I think that he got options. I think you can either go 5-4 on a perimeter with Mitch right there and just see what he's going to do, or you can get and run some plays like last year where the primary ball handler, in a set is Julius Randle. And then, you got RJ, Fournier, and Kemba Walker on the perimeter, and then I think it still bodes well because now if you throw the ball into Julius Randle, he 1-on-1 he can get his. But if you double team him, then that's a problem for you too because now you leaving the 40% shooters open out there.
Right.
So
I think it'd be great for this team. Take Mitch down low, spread everybody else 4 wings on the side. I think that'd be great for this team because don't forget Mitch also can pass out too.
Right. Right.
And hopefully he worked on those little inside jump shots. So I mean, I think this team is going to have so many different offensive sets, because interchangeable parts here, So I think a 1-4 high would be great if you take the starters as Kemba, Mitch, Julius. I'm not adopting Kemba, Mitch, Julius. Who else am I missing, fellas? Fournier and Barrett. That's like even if you kick it into Mitch, you could pass out to the side. Like they could run screen and roll, picking a lot of pick and rolls on this offense. Is going to be, because either they run the pick and roll, either you're going to kick it to Fournier or Julius or Barrett, and don't forget you got Mitch rolling to the rim for that got them live. So it's interesting, man, because I keep thinking more and more about this lineup, the start lineup, and I think we might just run, like I said, the Kemba and Rose with Barrett, Mitch, and Julius.
I mean, I think they can do that in a like just a change set thing. But I think that starting five coming on the gate, Evan Fournier got to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, but I just Yeah,
but I do think I tell you. But here's what I do agree with you on this here. What let's say Fournier is at the 2, he the first sub, and then you bring Derrick Rose in there to run with Kemba maybe for another 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And then you get and bring in, then you switch him out and then bring him quickly. Then you be back to your regular set. So I do think he can do it by, taking Fournier out when it's time to do the timeout change and let's say I'm gonna bring Derrick Rose gonna be the first one off the bench for us. Put it like that.
The reason
I can see that. I can see that happening.
The reason I say that is because the concern is Walker's legs, like we were concerned about Derrick Rose's legs. So my thinking is if you got both of them guys out there for the first 6 minutes to get their reps, and then you still could bring in a McBride, and don't forget Burks could run that 1-2 along with Toppin in New Orleans, Noel in that back, or Fournier with them. I'm sorry. So it's 3 weeks away, and I just believe that a lot of the answers we're looking for, not all of them, will be answered. And I really think that a lot of the older guys will sit down and let these younger guys see, because they have to find out. God forbid some of these guys go down, especially the guards. We got to know who's the next dog that's going to come in and help us out. Like if Rose misses or Kemba Walker misses a significant time, we got to trust that McBride quickly, Burks can handle this team. Or even a Vildozas for your point, or whoever else is there at guard, because I'm thinking with this year we have to play like someone's going to get hurt. We talked about this before, but like injury is big in this league, and I think these guys minute and the way Tibbs plays these guys, how Tibbs is. He's playing his guys that he thinks he go with. If you go 8-9 deep, he don't care. So I think, just him managing this team and seeing the reps they get, and we're talking about them shooting 30 to 40 3-pointers per game. Woo! It's going to be a lot of a lot of tread on them tires for them knees, man. Them guys going to have to relax a little bit, and they got to rest somehow. So we got to see what we got.
Yeah. I'm confident that it'll work itself out. But that's the thing. I mean, and that's a great point that you said. And I think if people need to understand that, I know they do. Injuries is a big part of this league. I mean, there's no way you can get around that. That's just part of the human structure. The physical body going through whatever it may go through. Some severe, some not. Some is just a part of bad time, whatever. But I'm not too worried about the injury thing. Like I said, not even with Derrick Rose. I'm really not. I think the man, he found a way to play basketball at his age and what his body can handle. He learned how to play with it, to use it to perfection without let it deterring his game. You know what I mean? So Derrick Rose put up for his numbers right here, 14. He was the third leading scorer, like 14 points a game. You know what I mean? Behind Julius Randle's and RJ 17 and 24, whatever. So I mean, he did that on bad knees. Everybody, well, I guess not bad knees, but that I don't want to even throw that out there. Sorry, pardon me, Derrick Rose. The talk about his knees is bad. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's the case. I seen the man get up there and play last year and put up 14 points a game. So that's why I'm not worried about it, because I just think that it's a part of what it is, and I do think he's gonna do what he did last year. But this time he's doing it with a full season with the Knicks. He did that in a short season. So I'm dying to see what he's gonna do. And Kemba Walker, even with his injury, it is what it is. It's the NBA. He got doctors. You know what I mean? He got doctors. You know what I mean? And he probably doing what he got to do. But if he can come in there and give us 3/4 of Kemba, I take it. We don't need Kemba to score 20 points. Kemba give us 15 and 7, 16 and 7, just due to the fact of how many people we got in that lineup who can get shots. If he stayed consistently at 16, let me say 16, 17, then that was a blessing for $9 million. You know what I mean? So he just got, that's real talk.
I got a question for y'all. Do we know how many players on it? Has everybody been vaccinated on this team?
I can't answer that question. I don't have no inside information about that or knowledge of it. Yeah, I'm not sure.
You see the story that came out, right? That they have to be vaccinated to play in New York City. Home game.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you're not vaccinated, you can't play. So my thing is, I'm hoping everybody got vaccinated. So that can hurt too. The NBA declared it that the NBA, they're not doing, but in New York City, you have to be vaccinated to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can't speak for all the players, but there's definitely some that I know were vaccinated. They posted the picture. I think quickly, Obi was part of that. Burks. I'm not sure if D Rose is. Not sure if D Rose is also part of that. Okay. But I think, yeah, they're definitely, we know this might be some player in Brooklyn. I won't name names, but it's gonna affect the team out in San Francisco. It's gonna affect New York, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's some more states eventually.
Yeah, Elton Lee say they got New York, Texas, and California.
Texas now.
Yeah, real quick. Salute to the chat, man. Elton T, Kevin Taylor, salute. Hey, Kevin, you right on that point about Vildozas. It's an overcrowded backcourt, Kev. I agree with you. And Vildozas gonna have to try to get in there and do what he got to do, if you want to play. Hey, salute Robert Woodward, Queens Court in the back, checking in on this Queen. I appreciate you. Will in the building. Maverick March, salute to you, my brother. Thanks for coming in. I got Canal in the building, man. So we just it's interesting, but I do like where we at, man. I think we got some good 3-point shooting here, and and I just do think that I think the Knicks have earned their respect this year. I think this year, to me, I'm just going off the numbers, and I'm going off the numbers in the team, and I try to put every little thought process into what can be to make sure I'm covering all bases. You know what I mean? That way, I'm just not throwing anything out there. So I do try to study what I see out there, and I just see that this team is better than last year. They a more year experience. I'm just speaking for this team like every other team. Obviously, they have more team experience. I think they got a better team overall. I really do. I think Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker. That's the obvious. I mean, that's obvious. But I do think that the Manuel Quickly second year is a big difference maker. Obi Toppin second year, because they know how to play it. They played in the NBA now, so this is not a surprise to them this year. You know what I mean? Like Obi Toppin, regardless of how good you are, the better player, the NBA was like a surprise to him. But that's the first time playing in that league against some grown men. You know what I mean? And it's adjustment. You know what I mean? And Quickly handled it pretty well. But now them cats got a year in their belt, so when they come into the season, they know what guys do. So the game will be a little slower to them. I think it'll slow down a little bit more because now they done went through it, and they understand the nuances of playing basketball in the NBA. So I hope that builds out well. That to me, guy, that's why I think this team is better. I just think that we brought in some good rookies who could compete on another level, guys. CT. So that's why I like that 3-point percentage. I think that's going to be a surprise to a lot of people in the NBA.
And just bring back to the Vildoza thing. I think that what the Knicks did was pay him the 3-point-something million for basically a few weeks' work last season. That was a good deed. I think that money he needed to use that to help the buyout. $2 million buyout, but also for a player that speaks around the league. Because you're paying them to basically do nothing, to not even play. So I think the Knicks did him a solid. Helped him bring over to the States. So. I don't think if we cut him eventually, I don't think it'll have that kind of impact that we did a dirty thing. I think we did the right thing by him, but let's see what happens. Who's your inside track to make this spot? If you have to pick.
Wow. I give Bacon the edge because I seen what Bacon could do, and he did it in the NBA. You know what I mean? Bacon, he played with so far he played with Orlando last year, had a decent season. Decent season. He played in Charlotte. I think Kemba was there when he played in Charlotte, so they got that familiarity. And I just think that he could shoot the ball. So we'll see. I think that's big Vildozas, and that's his biggest competition for us making the team. Because I do think Kevin Knox is a lot. We know if something don't happen before camp, it's some trade or something. But if not, Kevin Knox is a lot. Todd Gibson is a lot. I do think Grimes and McBride, I guess you're going to call him a lock. So that's 14 right there. So you only got that one spot left, and Sims on a two-way, obviously. So that's kind of irrelevant. But I think Bacon and Vildozas will be the one that's going to play for that spot. Unless they decide to part ways with Vildozas and just say, no, we just going to part ways, then we let somebody else get it. But I think it's an open competition. You go in there and see what you could do. If you make it, then salute to you. You made the team, you earned it, and that's all he could do. He ain't got no other choice, really. He just had to go in there.
I've been riding with Bacon, but I need to see Bacon and Knox this preseason a lot because Bacon can defend well. And he can shoot a little bit. Knox can shoot, but he's inconsistent. So because being that we didn't see Knox a lot in some league, we need to see what he can do. How improved is he just taking that corner jump shot, or is he driving to the hole now? Is he playing better defense? So we need to see that from him. And in the beginning of the year, he was making that shot. Tibbs gave him, to Tibbs' credit, he did give him a lot of playing time in the beginning to see what he can do. And unfortunately, it didn't pan out. But let's see what happens. But I think Bacon, for me, I think Bacon is going to make that 15 slot. I think.
Well, but I agree. And this is okay. The Knox shot 39% from the 3-point line last year. Exactly. Granted, there's few attempts, obviously. Right. But the fact, the young man got a good stroke. I like Knox because of his height too, and that's something that the Knicks really they need. I like his length, and I'm gonna tell you why. To me, why it's important. This is important. This is what Kevin Knox got to look at. I got a chance to either play at the 3 or 4. Let's just say hypothetically, if things happen, a situation come up where COVID or something like that, Obi Toppin or Alec Burks can't go. Knox got to be like, yo, I can come in here and do what I got to do. Because Knox to play, I think he could play the 4 because he's lengthy. And I think he got enough height to play the 4 if Obi go down or Alex Burks go down, and Knox happen to be the backup 3. At least you're getting almost 6'8", 6'9". You know what I mean? And that helps too because now you got a little bit more length on that line with Noel, with Noel and Knox, and Obi if Obi go down. So it's not a bad. Knox got to go and take advantage of the situation.
Right. I just want to see what else did he improve on in his game. Is he still just shooting threes? We got to see more than just him shooting. What versatility is he? Yeah, I see after Knox, he's versatility, but what else is he doing though? Like we've been with Knox now for 3 years, like long as Mitch. So we got to see what else he can do out there. And I just think Bacon's more seasoned. He's been in the league more. He's been on a couple teams more. He's a more seasoned vet, and we know what type of guy. He's a big wing. Like the one thing that we're missing is a wing defender. Bacon gives us that extra wing defender for RJ to come out and give RJ some minutes. So we need that. And that's why I said this preseason is going to be huge for us to see exactly what we can do. Also, at Devon, we forgot to mention, man. Clyde's winding down is closed down.
Yeah. I heard a report on that. Clyde winding down. Salute to the GOAT, man, the New York Knicks GOAT. You know what I mean? Clyde's winding down, man. Clyde, man, thank you for everything, man. On and off the court, my brother. You know what I mean? Once he's a Knick legend. You know what I mean? We know why. We got the championship because it had a lot to do with him. You know what I mean? Right. So. Yo, Clyde, we wish you none of the best, man. Can't wait to see you when the season start, man. And I got you in my promo anyway, so it don't even matter. We good. I got you in the montage, so and everything, man, showing you some love. So that's what's up, man. But you know what? Yeah, I do think that's a good problem. I agree with you. Bacon can be the X factor and all that as well. You know what I mean? If Bacon with that defense come in here and he can shoot the ball, that's why I said training camp gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. There's gonna be some competition going on. And I love that because competition brings out the best in everybody. You know what I mean? And you go in there, you go mano a mano against that dude who got your spot or that's whose spot you want. You got to go.
You know what? You shot me with that 28% Peyton because if you remember Peyton in his early Orlando days, right? He would come, he could shoot. So he was shooting. He used to come. He used to be a Knick nemesis. Every time we played him, we couldn't stop him. But somehow he came here and couldn't shoot the ball. And I'm like, so just imagine now Kemba Walker can make about three to four 3-pointers in that starting lineup.
Change the game.
Think about it. Peyton last year, right? I called him the layup. He missed like 50 layups. I'm like, how do you miss these easy layups right there? So an open 3-pointers. So if Kemba could knock down 3 to 4 3-pointers, and then you got Fournier, man, sky's the limit. And like you said, Kemba and Bacon, they've been playing together for years. Right, he played with him in Charlotte and played with him in Boston. So they've been playing. Yeah, that's why I think he has a chance to make this team too. So
yeah, absolutely. I think no. Here's another thing that he played under Steve Clifford.
Correct.
I think the Knicks I think what this organization doing now is dealing with connections. They know if Bacon played for Steve Clifford, and that means they know that what type of player he should be, because Steve Clifford from our mold, you know what I mean? Basically, you know what I mean? Steve Clifford is from a coach's mold. Him and Tom Thibodeau's Jeff Van Gundy, that's their tree. So to me, the Knicks know that if he played for Steve Clifford, one thing he gonna do is play defense. You know what I mean? Right. That's what Steve Clifford would do, and I think that knowing that he can play defense, knowing that he can shoot the 3 ball, he could be that new Reggie Bullock, you know what I mean, on the bench. He could be the new Reggie Bullock. And if that's the case, then the Knicks didn't lose anything. They gained. They gained big time. They saved $10 million. And if Bacon or whatever the price may be for Bacon, if Bacon could do what Reggie Bullock did, then that's what you call checkers playing chess, because you got rid of a guy who's getting $10 million. This guy can come in and just about do the same thing, because like I said, Reggie Bullock averaged about 10 a game, right? Am I right or wrong? Yeah, 10 a game. Here goes the stats right here. So let me get that. But yeah, and if he could do that, if Bacon can do that, or Knox can do that, I'm just gonna use both of them. And that's what Knox can't do it on the defense end, but the points. If you replace Reggie Bullock's 10 point with Bacon or Knox, then you didn't lose anything, especially with Bacon if he's a defender, like he's a defender. You know what I mean? So you really to me, you just replace Reggie Bullock with a cat who's getting the same 10 points and he can shoot the 3 and can play defense. So you almost replace Reggie Bullock with a guy just like him, and you got him on a camp deal or whatever deal he has. So I think the Knicks they playing checkers out there, because if that cat Bacon could turn out to take that spot, then he good. We good. And then you gained Fournier, and you didn't really lose. What's the name? Reggie Bullock, because my man could do what Bullock can do. So now you didn't lose Bullock. You know, you just got a guy with a different name doing what he did. So, but then you gained 17, 18 more points for Fournier. So to me, that's why I think the Bacon thing is big. I really do, and I think people might be sleeping on that, because now I know a lot of guys up here like him as well. But I agree with you, KW. If he do what he shot that from with Charlotte last year, I think it was like 10 points a game, something like that, a game for Charlotte. With knocking down threes. So like I said, it's sometimes you have to take all these things into consideration. You know what I mean? Much as we love to have Reggie Bullock, but if Bacon do what Reggie Bullock did for $8 million less, then you won. You won.
Like, hey, salute to Sarge in the chat. Everybody in the chat. Hey, listen.
Salute, peace of law, wise.
Alton Lee made a great point. We're playing with house money again, right? Mm-hmm. So Skies is when we playing with house money. When the last time we played with house money for 2 seasons in a row? We normally give up the bank. In all my years as a Knicks fan, we always paying that $100 million out, get one player here, get filling players here and there. So now we have more guards to keep up with these other guards. Guards, they hurt us every single year. You be like, how come this guy come in New York? How is that even happening? From any team, guards come in, they represent. Now we got guards to get up on you that can defend you full court. I think we're gonna see, especially with that younger team, for McBride to play, they're gonna defend the whole court. They could run with those veterans. They could run. They could stay up there and get on them. So now we have the personnel. We never had this much personnel before, Devon in the chat, and that's why I'm so adamant about who is going to be the other dog. We know what Julius could do, right? We know what Kimba could do, right? We know what Rose can do. We know what a lot of them could do already. But these new guys, we gotta know what Bacon can do. We gotta trust. We gotta see what Nas can do now. We have to see what McGrath. We have to see what these new guys can do, because we know what the older guys can do. We proved it last year. We went 41-31. When I don't care anybody in the chat and the panel, I didn't think they were gonna win 41 games last year. We didn't have that number on them. So now we at this point, the expectation is higher and higher for us. Who is the other dogs on this team that we gonna need? You know, like 3 weeks, October 5th, our first game, preseason game. And we can't base it off preseason, but it can be a nice litmus test to see where we at with these other guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's a good problem to have, and I really do. I think the young man is talented. What I've seen in summer league impressed me. It impressed me real good. And I listen. I've been watching Nick summer league and Nick basketball for a long time, bro. You know what I mean? It's a new under the sun, and I was impressed in a long time. Could it be because we haven't really had an off season like this in a long time? So but I do think they capitalized real well strategically, financially, talent-wise, flexibility with the organization, gaining picks. I mean, the Knicks is playing checkers. Let me tell you, them cats is playing checkers, bro. And I'm not checking. Excuse me. I'm sorry, God. I'm gonna say they playing chess. The Knicks is playing chess. I apologize for that deeply.
They going big game hunting. We know they going big game hunting, but when you go big game hunting, everybody that's being hunted is going to step their game up. So it's like, now what do we? So say we get to the point in the season where this team they run like 10, 15 games in a row, and they know a deal is out there, right? So it's kind of like that deal back in the day when we had Chandler, we had Gallinari, and then he was like, oh man, we broke the camaraderie, we brought Melo in, right? Remember that?
Right.
But this time we got more duck. We're going now. So it's going to be very interesting this year to see exactly what moves they make at the trade deadline, if they even make a move. Because we know next year somebody's going to come here. Well, maybe this year we don't know yet, but
the NBA is tough. Everybody got better, especially in the East. And I always had to repeat myself. we know who the creme de la creme is right now. Milwaukee and the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, that's a gimme. Philly, Milwaukee and all these. I'm not Milwaukee. I'm in Philly, Miami, Boston. I just do believe that we put ourselves in a good position to be able to say, you know what, we gonna be right there, right there. And if we got to make a move, then we make a move. See, the good thing about that is that they can do it. See, that's a good feeling that we know if the Knicks need to make a move, they got the assets, they got the flexibility, they got the picks. That's what's impressive to me. That's why I say they finally playing chess, and everybody playing checkers because they still got six number ones in the next 4 years, something like that. These cats got second round picks. They so structurally set with the way they maneuvered and they structured all them contracts, 2 years with a team option. You could trade them contracts easy. Easy. And they talented ball players. Alex Burks can play basketball. Nerlens Noel can play basketball. Not superstars, but they can play basketball. You know what I mean? And I do think that they can help a team in need. So they easy to move. And then I just think that, with the draft picks we got and a couple of more contracts out there, you got Nerlens Noel. I'm not Nerlens Noel. Joakim Noah money be coming off the books in a year or two, whatever. Next year. So they still financially set. And let's say in 2 years from now, you get that $20 million back from Nerlens Noel. You get the $10 million back for him and Noel and Alex Burks if you don't re-sign them. Knock $6 million or $4 or $5 million to be going. That's 25. And depending on who else is on the two-way, and you got options. You know what I mean?
If they get rid of Vildozas this year, we get $4.5 million back.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So you took something I wanted to ask you out. You must have been in my thoughts, Devon. You know how when it's good energy, it's like that sometimes.
Yes, sir. So I think
we got Burks 3 years, $30 million, right? And we got Noel 3 years, $30 million, right?
Mm-hmm. Or you could say 20 because of that third year team option.
So I was going to ask you a question. What player do we think won't be here next year? Right? I'm gonna give you my assessment. I think their Burks contract is tradable, right? So I'm looking at Burks and Grimes. I know he's a rookie, right? Grimes can shoot. He's a shooter, and he can dribble. Grimes can dribble, and Burks can dribble too. Burke just got the vet status on him, right? But Grimes is a little bit younger in spring, so I can see if everything goes well, and his team is going, and it's a deal to be made. I think they would add Burks in that deal because we already got so many 3-point shooters. How many 3-pointers do we need if we can get an asset? Or even at 3 years, and then also Noel. We still got Sims. So imagine you got Grimes and Sims. If they could mold them and these guys come on in, we could create cap space between two people and bring in more people. Will I think that happen right away? No. But can it happen? It could. If we can get a good player. Somebody that's serviceable to make money and then bring in two guys in Sims and Grimes in that lineup next year or something.
Yeah, it would have to be next year or something like that because I do believe, we need. Like I agree with Queen's Court. You got to have them experienced players, and the playoffs is about experienced ball players. That's a different league right there, and it's a different level. And a lot of these cats ain't ready for that. And I agree with Steph. Like I said, Alice, next year I can see all that happening. That's why I'm bringing this up. I'm bringing it up from a point of this is what can happen. The Knicks are in a situation if they wanted to, they can do that. Do they need to do that now? No, obviously not because we going for the playoffs and we need these two. But the good thing about it, if a name come up and in a trade and you do have them, if they bring in back in another veteran, then I guess that's minute. Then you know what I mean. If the cat they bringing in is a veteran and can handle that situation, then okay, you didn't lose too much. You know what I mean? But I do believe that they in a good situation, CT. I think the Knicks, man, that Noel contract, that Burks contract was the key to me. You know, like I said, you got Knox contract is a done deal. That's 25 mil. You know what I mean? You throw in a piece here, there, and a couple of picks. You know what I mean? You really in a good spot right there.
Yeah, that's Leon Rose and Brock Aller's knowledge. Like they've been part of so many managing players that were traded. They know $10 million contracts are probably like a sweet spot for teams. You know, being able to be moved. You know, absorbing deals. You're right. You know, they were great contracts, good value, players that teams would want, can help you, good character guys. And yeah, KJ's point, I agree about trade. You know, we could see Burks or Noel being part of that deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we need to make some salary up as well. Also, Kevin Knox is another sneaky good deal, tradable, because 5.8 is coming off the books immediately. And Luca Vildoza, another 3.5 mil that can be cut at any point. So we've got some weapons that are like trade assets for other teams. I think we're playing with house money.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's 29 million right there, just off them 29 million. And you know what? It's 29 million, and you know now you got picks to throw in there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, come on, you know. So I do think that this team is built for the playoffs. But to me, you get to that trading deadline, and something out there that might put us on another level. At least they're in position to do it. Whether they do it or not, who knows? But the good thing, what I'm happy about is the organizations are in a good position to do that. The Knicks can wheel and deal. I think 3 years ago, prior to 2018, we couldn't do that. Now they put themselves in a position where, if hypothetically, if say if Damian Lillard wanted to leave, they got the assets. Or say if whoever, Cat, anybody, if one of them guys wanted to get up out of their current situation, and they could, the Knicks is in the conversation because they got the assets. You know what I mean? And I think that's just that, to me, that's what's more important to me. I like the team we got right now. I really do. I want to see that team go to battle. I really do. I want to see that team that they currently construct this year. I want to see what they got. You know what I mean? I want to see what they got, because I think the addition of them two guys, man. You know, I mean, you know, we was happy with 41 wins on a team that's not better than us, even though, and what I mean, everybody got better, we got better. So everybody's still on a certain level to me, you know. And Chicago better, we still got better too. Indiana got better, whoever, we got better too. So we still on that same competition level, no matter what. It'd be different. They got better, we didn't, but we got better. So it's still even kill, mano. You put your team up against mine, we think we got better too. And I do think I do think that is so I don't know. It's going to be tough out there, man. A lot of teams got superstars that we don't have. You know what I mean? You got cats out there who got dominant ball players. I mean, Indiana got a good team. We know Miami got, you know, that starting five is probably one of the best in the Eastern Conference as far as talent. You know what I mean? With Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler, you know, and I think Bam Adebayo All-Star, Jimmy Butler All-Star. You know what I mean? Kyle Lowry, savvy, proven veteran, can knock it down, defender, bulldog. They got one of the best starting five in the league. So, you know, we know what teams the Knicks got to go up against. You know, it ain't like they're going up against. I mean, Dan, like I said, Indiana, Miles Turner, Sabonis, T.J. Warren healthy. You know what I mean? It's some big dog teams out there. Charlotte got better. They deep. You know what I mean? Chicago got deep. So it's competition out there. You know what I mean? But you do also got to take consideration how the game is played. We got better too, but here's the thing: a lot of them teams got better. We got better, and we still play a better defense. You know, it ain't like we didn't get better with people adding to our situation. Evan Fournier been playing in the NBA, guys. I don't care how you try to slice it, how you put it around. The man been playing in the NBA. He averaged 18, 17, 18. That's his career. You can't overlook that. It ain't like it's new because he on the Knicks. You understand what I'm saying, guys? He been doing this his whole career. So, you know, it'd be different if he did it this year, whatever, and he came to the Knicks all of a sudden. No, he been doing this. It ain't nothing new to him. That's what he do.
he just hasn't been on great teams.
Right,
So
right.
people look at Evan Fournier like, oh yeah, he's a player on a bad team putting up numbers. But now he's the fourth best player offensively or third. And when players don't get that kind of attention defensively, they'll break out even more. You know, you leave Evan Fournier open. Look at him in the Olympics too. He's and Steph agrees. You know, Fournier does get overlooked. You know, I think people don't want to keep mentioning him because we paid $19 million, but he was probably the most expensive addition. But he earns that much money for a reason. That's his market value. If the New York Knicks didn't pay that much money, Boston would have paid something similar. So, I think I'm looking forward to seeing Fournier. I think he's a nice piece. He's unselfish. He can pass. He can dribble. He can penetrate. Let's see what he does defensively. If he can hold his own, you know, that's going to be excellent. Cream on the cake.
Yeah. I second that, man. Like I said, it's tough out there, but the Cats, he proven himself. His stats speak for themselves. That all we can go by is what the eye test and their stats. And no matter how we might say this guy's better than that guy now, what is his career stats? You know what I mean? Right. And his career stats is 17 of 18 a game, I'm assuming. You know, and so he's really, really built for this thing. And I do think when then you go to Kemba Walker, you know, tough situation. You know what I mean? The man got an injury in the knee. We got to hope. We just got to hope that we got to hope that the knee holds up. And like I said earlier, Kemba Walker give me 15, 16 a game. I'm good.
Hey, the numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. There you go. That's a perfect way to say that. You know what? I need to use that more often. You know how much? Yeah, we could talk about all this, but the numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie. So, so we're not wrong. We're not wrong with anything we're saying or anybody that's writing in the chat. Like, we are avid Knicks fans that love our team, and we know we seen this team. We seen where they were at, and we see where they're going, and now look at them. They're flourishing. So don't forget, COVID protocols a lot too. You know, I didn't even throw the COVID protocols in. Was guys can't play shit out 10 games. That happened a lot last year. But let me ask you guys both a question. I'm gonna throw a lineup out there, right? And this is for the chat too. It happened in the summer league. We seen McBride, Quickly, Sims, Toppin, right? That's 4, and it was one more. McBride, Quickly, Toppin, Sims. Who was that last one right there?
Grimes.
And Grimes.
Yeah.
I want to see that lineup.
You have to see that lineup. Yeah. We'll see it in the blowout. Probably.
No, yeah. I really want to. You know why? I want to see it at some point in the preseason, and it's the reason why I'm saying it. That's our young core right there, right? So out of those 5 guys, we have to see who is going to be the dog out of those 5 guys within the next. It's a 2-year window for them. We see how this team is going. Now this is Quickly and Toppin's second year. McBride, Sims, and Grimes' first year. Future backcourt could be Quickly and McBride.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Right.
So I really want to see that core right there working in. Out of those 5 guys, let's see who's going to flourish. If in the next 5 years, right? Out of those 5 guys, who do we think is going to flourish into a star? McBride, Quickly, Toppin, Sims, and Grimes. This is for the chat too. Give me one guy. Who do we think in it 5 years from now?
Star wise, Would you mean star? You mean what, like a playoff type? I mean, an all-star. I mean, an all-star type guy. I'm gonna say playoff. Excuse me. You talking about an all-star level type of player, or you just talking about a decent NBA player, 17 points a game, or some of that? I mean, what level you expecting when you mean?
I want to say all-star. All-star. I'm giving all-star. We look, Avon and CT. We got high expectations now. Yeah, we said we go at least 2 all-stars from this Knicks team right now. So let's make it an all-star.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who it would be. I'm gonna have to. Man, Grimes because he can shoot. I mean, because he can shoot. He buckets. I think
it's a loaded question because we haven't really seen McBride, Sims. It's a loaded question, I know, but if we're thinking, so I don't think you have to answer it. It's kind of hard.
You hear this with a good one.
Yeah. You know what? I guess I was going off a prediction. I guess
let's let the chat earn their money and let us know first, and then we'll.
With the chat thing.
Chat on it.
Quick. LR says quick. I was about to say Grimes. I agree with Grimes is underrated. I think he was
going McBride.
McBride, yeah. I think Grimes was picked at the first round for a reason. I'm not saying I think Deuce is a first round talent as well. I just think Deuce has earned the accolades early because he can defend well. He's got that attitude. I think Grimes could be that polished dude like Houston with the shot. He can be a nice wing defender. That could be a starting three in the future, maybe.
Who McBride, Grimes, and Quickly?
Yeah.
Woo. And that was going to my segue. Instead of let's take Sims and Toppin out of the way. Out of those three guys, who's going to be the star? Grimes, Quickly, or McBride? Now, Quickly is already ahead, so I can see a lot of us going with Quickly because we've seen what he could do, but we also seen what McBride can do on defensively and offensively.
Yeah, I don't see star for Quickly. I don't see star, but I see star in McBride. I see star quality because a two-way guy, he could develop, into what like Marcus Smart wasn't able to develop to, because of offensive limitation. But my ceiling for, and this is lofty, but my ceiling for McBride could be a Drew Holiday. To
the chat. Anyway, you know what? People come into the league as players, right? Whether you're coming out of college, whether you, no matter where you come from, you coming in here, and people are gonna, judge you on your talent. You know what I mean? And if your talent precedes itself, you go to where you got to go. But we do believe that we also can say, what do we think they're going to be? That's just predicting. There's nothing wrong with thinking what a player could be. If you say, what are you going to do now? And what are you going to be 2 years from now? This is what you do. You see how his game was the first time you seen him play. Then you say, okay, what is he going to do that's going to make him better to take him to another level? So the reason why I got faith in with Grimes and these guys, because listen, Kawhi Leonard was drafted way down there. Not way down there. I'm saying, what I'm trying to say, a lot of guys in the NBA whose superstars and good players, a lot of them weren't always in the top 5, 10. You know what I mean? You can get a player that's 39th and pop. You know what I mean? You can get Mitchell Robinson with a 36 pick. And he playing in the NBA. So, I mean, because you could project a certain type of skill set that you say, you know what, he got it. You know what I mean? And you could judge people by saying, you know what, he got it. And I do think with Brian and McBride, they got it. They got NBA skill level talent.
Right.
So if you don't know where they might be 3 years from now. I mean, we didn't think Donovan Mitchell was gonna come in the NBA and pop like that. You know what I mean? Coming out from Louisville. I mean, we can't prejudge these guys, and you haven't even seen them play. You don't know what these guys might turn out to be. You never know. So I think that I like to say I trust the system that Tibbs them put in place in New York, where they're going to bring in a player. Here's one thing when you come and play the New York Knicks, you're going to have to play hard. You're going to have to be in the gym. You're going to have to work on your craft. You're going to have to be a professional ball player. That's what Scott Perry and them doing. So when you come play for Tibbs, I keep telling everybody, just because we passed up on a lot of kids in that draft, Tibbs might have said, you know what, you're not ready to play for me. You know what I mean? You might not. I don't think you might. I don't care how much talent you got. If you can't play in a certain situation, it don't matter. You know what I mean? So I do think that McBride and Grimes got a good chance to flourish in this system, because the system that they played in is what Tibbs is doing for them. He bought my man from West Virginia. And in Huggins' system, they play the same way. They defense first. They go at it. You know what I mean? And they play with intensity. That's what McBride and them do. And Houston ground. What's his name? Kevin Sampson. They built like until I think the Knicks just keeping everything structured. We got to bring players in who can play in this system. Maybe Frank couldn't play in the system. Maybe Knox can't play in the system that Tom Thibodeau putting out there, because you got to have a certain build with you. You know what I mean? And a certain type of demeanor. And I think that McBride and McGrind, that's why I say, and if you know the system, they could pop in it, because, the system set them up to succeed, put it like that. That's what I'm trying to say. I think the Knicks system has set them guys up to succeed. That's why I do think that Grimes can be that all-star, that's all-star player, because how good he can shoot the ball. You know what I mean? And how good, if he keep working at his game, he's going to get better at it anyway. I mean, Quickly shot 39% from the field last year. And McBride, and Grimes can kind of get to the hole just as good as Quickly can, and more efficient probably. So you never know. You never know.
And when the last time we had a point guard that can defend? That's what I'm looking at. The guard play. Guards had hurt this team for years. So now if we have a lockdown guard as a young rookie that could defend, man, skies is the limit. But like I said, that's summer league. Let's see.
Yep.
But like I said, we're not GMs, we're not agents, we're not scouts. We're just fans that we know basketball. We see what you see. So imagine what these scouts are really seeing. I want to know, what are these guys seeing to make your point, Devon? Like, I can see this guy the next 3-4 years could be this superstar, but they don't know. So we basically all doing the same thing. We all could be scouts for somebody right now, So let's hope it works for our team.
Yep. Real quick, CT, for you tell me, you know what them guys do? They run a business, and they kind of get product that's going to make the business successful. That's what they doing. That's what everybody do. Shit, that's what I do. You go and get the product that's going to make your business be successful. So you go get the players that's going to make your team successful and make the Knicks business successful for everybody to prosper. That's what, so they went and got the pieces to put on the shelves. They say, you know what? When people come in the store, they buying this because there's some good stuff here. So if Grimes is that good, if McBride is that good, the Knicks going to put it on the shelf. We're going to put it on the shelf, see if they buy it, see if it's good, it's going to help feed somebody. So that's how we look at it with these players. If they're going to feed our energy, they're going to feed our happiness. And I do think them cats could do that. I think Tom Thibodeau's system, 41-30, when everybody was calling mediocre talent or whatever. That's what people, what some people would say. Not everybody says that, but mediocre talent. And you know what? Look what they did. So the system worked. So CT and so we could throw all the shots at these guys and shots at these coaches, because that's what we do. We fans. We want to debate them, make sure they're doing good, or we got different opinions about them. But you best believe, the way they running that thing down in New York right now, 2 or 3 years, I guarantee you Knicks will be up in that place. 2 years from now, Knicks will be up in there. I guarantee you that. But that's the way they running the business. They looking to succeed, man. Them guys ain't doing all that to fail. They want Knicks fans. They want the New York organization want the Knicks fan to say, we got a championship. It's been a long time. That's why you go to work every day. That's what them cats doing. They trying to let our fans are starving for a championship. We're gonna put the organization in a position to be able to do that. And I think they did it. I think they did.
Yeah, they got the best of everyone's industry in terms of this front office, Like we've got an experienced GM, Scott Perry. He's been around winning organizations before with the Pistons, well respected. We got the guy in the capologist. We got a shrewd businessman in Leon Rose and Worldwide West, who's a networker. And now you were seeing the fruits of that, a few years in. We're Cap's right, everything's right, except that star to free agency star. But we may not need that. We may just trade for one. But I think the Kemba thing was shrewd as well, to get that in there for $8 million, $9 million. We knew before other teams knew. I couldn't have more trust in this front office. I think moving forward, we're going to continue to do great moves, great deals. Our scouting team has increased. I feel really good about Grimes, McBride, because I feel comfortable where we pick at the 20 to 30 range. We always seem to find really good value,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And like you said, you know, there's no guarantee the 10th or 12th pick. What's his names? Davion Mitchell and all them. There's no guarantees they're better than Grimes and McBride. You know, the college game's different. The moment the pros start, you're starting from scratch all over again. Nobody was really that high on Tyrese Halliburton. You know, he came in the league, made Killian Hayes look like the lesser man.
ACT,
You know?
I wanted him. I wanted us to pick him. I really wanted Halliburton bad. Imagine we'd have Halliburton right now at the top end at the guard. Woo!
Yep.
Yeah. You believe in the scouting report. You know, Sacramento, I know they're not known for that, but, you know, maybe luck fell in their lap. But they hit with that one. And I think our guys hit with that, you know. Deuce at 34, 36, Grimes at 25. They may not become stars, but they will contribute to winning. You know, they're two-way guys. That's what we've needed for a long, long time. You know, guys that can shoot and score. Right now, Quickly is more of a one-trick pony. You know, he's a great at scoring. Let's see if he improves defensively, you know, because he's got, like, to your point, he's got a guy behind him coming for him, you know, that can do both. And Tibbs may quickly, like, fall in love with him if Quickly doesn't come back improved.
Right.
You know what's real quick about that? And this is what people also understand. And them cats not even part of the rotation. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. We talking about cats who are not even part of the rotation. So that tells you how good that team is, how deep that team is. Grimes ain't even guaranteed to make it. I mean, a spot. McBride not guaranteed to make a spot. And so that tells me here we are talking about guys who might not even see the floor. And that's a good team we got down there. You know, so but it's good to have problems like that because God forbid you get an injury. A person go down, you got to have somebody back there who can hold the fort down for a minute. And that's why I like the you know, much as we may hate the Vildozas, he can run a point though. You know what I mean? So if Kemba had to go down for a minute or Derrick Rose had to go down for a minute, I'm talking about run a point, not just it's different than playing point. I mean, you can run it. Vildozas can run a point guard. I think McBride could be a point guard, but on the NBA level, can he run that show? And now we know Vildozas kind of had that space for playing over in Argentina, wherever, in the Euro League over there. And you know, so he does have the experience. So that's not a bad position to be in, and that's not even the top 10. That's not even the top 10 guys. You know, them guys we talk that might not even see the rotation. So I do think that, you know, we just got to, you know, be able to say, you know what, depending on what happens at the trading deadline, we see where we go. If this team's strong enough to get us to that, just say if the Knicks think that the New York's presently constructed right now can get us to another level, then they'll stand back. But if they think that because of the way the NBA shaped out this year, maybe injuries to this team or maybe this team, whatever, it made your chances even better to get to the next level. So now you can wheel and deal. You know what I mean? You wheel and deal. You know, and I think that's the position they should be enrolled into this thing, going into training camp in a couple of weeks with this squad you got here. See what they could do. If they pop, we good. But at the trading deadline, if somebody come available that's going, I don't care who it is on that team, if they ain't Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, just for the love of it, you go get them. You know what I mean? You go get them. You know, so I think the Knicks in a good situation. That's why I think you can't judge this stuff until you get past the trading deadline. That's when you really can judge this season for the guys who are going to be up there. Because like I said, somebody going to wheel and deal. They always wheel and dealing at the trading deadline. I think the Knicks did this, what they did with Noel and Burks. To me personally, it's my opinion. They signed them 2 contracts like that. So if the trading deadline come, if they would move, I don't know about the time frame, but if it was, if they can bring it, they got to bring in a real cat that's going to really do something, and they got them cats. So I think it's a chess game. I really do. I mean, and I think that's what they playing. They Scott Perry and them cats. Regardless what you may think, them cats did their thing this year. They did their thing, man, for sure. They did their thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like it's sustainable success. I think the way we're built now. Like to your point, that the next move, I'm good with this roster for a few years if we can keep pushing, because we're so good that the next move should be the move to take us to the top. You know, there is no other sideways move at the moment. Our roster is strong, and I think we're built for success, sustained success. Like you know, guys, back in that 2012, 2013 season with 54 wins with Kidd and Rasheed Wallace and Camby and J.R. Smith, and that was a nice team back then, but that was built for like 1 year, 1 or 2 years, and it collapsed after that. Now this team's not going to collapse. We've got foundational pieces to create a structure, and then we've added some talent on top, and we're ready for like a 5-6 year window, I think.
Yeah, I second that, man. I think the infrastructure is good to me. Like I said, and I don't deal with no hyperbole. You know, listen, I've been a Knicks fan since 1970. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to tell you, this is the best situation. I mean, if you a business person in anywhere, or you just an owner of something, this right now, the way the Knicks are, this is how you want your company ran. The way the Knicks is running right now, you go from top to bottom, it is all in cohesion with each other. They on the same page most of the time, but they all working hard. And look at us, man. 21 wins a couple of years ago. Now we're 41, and we about to move it to another level. And we got the assets. Like I said, I can't stop repeating this. Right. The Knicks got draft pick, assets, and flexibility. That's how you win the championship, basically. I mean, that's how you win the championship.
It's consistency. We're trying to build a franchise to be here, like how it was in the Spurs with Pop back in the day in the 90s, the 2000s. Right. Like if you go football, you go Tom Brady with not Tampa Bay, New England. You know, we're trying to build that. Mm-hmm. You know, we haven't seen how many franchises are like that right now. We're staying coaches there for like 15, 20 years, not too many. You know, in Knicks, we've been flipping coaches year after year. So think about the players. The players can get comfortable. You know, like, you know, this front office now, if they haven't showed us that the wheels and deals, the negotiating moves they made, they're not spending that money. You know, they're gonna make sure they get the best deal, or they don't want the deal. So we know we got guys that's not gonna fold, and that's what we've been missing. And I'm excited like you all are. You know, now it's just it looks good on paper.
Right.
Now we gotta see the product. Now the product, let's see what happens. You know, like if October 5th was tomorrow, man, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, you know what? I throw them out there. You know, throw them out there. You know what? Go ahead and get down, and then you see where they at. I just want the Knicks to go up against the creme de la creme cast. I want the Milwaukee's. The Knicks want the smoke. They should want the smoke. They should want that from Milwaukee, from Miami. I don't care whether you think they're better or not. You still want the smoke. You know what I mean? Go in there, and that way, like I said, you compete against it. Like if you compete against them to a certain level, you know what you need to do. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. It's like, okay, we're gonna go up against these cats. Okay, you know what? What do we need to overcome these dudes? What do we need to overcome Trae Young this year? What do we need to overcome maybe Miami? We still got to beat Trae Young and them. You know what I mean? So nobody's putting the Knicks as the, it's not about that. But I think we built this roster enough to compete and possibly be able to do that. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think that people should take the slight that the Knicks are just Knicks got a good team down here. You know, you can hate all the Knicks all you want to. The Knicks got a good team. They got a good team. They got a balanced team. They need a little bit more girth. I love to see or another a big body down there to help us out. But I'm happy with what they got there, man. I think like I said, these cats they this what they do for a living. Brock Aller and all these guys and all this and all this stuff. You know, that's what they do. You know, they take risks. They take risks. You know, everybody take risks. They take risks on Porzingis. They take risks on Embiid. They take risks on all these dudes when it comes to. So I don't even play the injury role. If the Knicks sign Kemba Walker, they sign him because they think that he might be able to give them enough this season, and they know in the back of their mind that he might can go down. You know, they think this stuff. You know what I mean? They think through all this stuff. You know what I mean? So You know, I do think they must got more optimism about it than pessimism, or they wouldn't have signed them probably.
Right.
And you know what I'm most happy about, fellas, is that all these other teams got better as well. So I'm happy that in a way we're still a bit slept on. We're still underrated. I'm looking at the odds here on some local markets down here, and believe it or not, we're in the Atlantic Division odds. We're second last. They've got Boston ahead of us. I'm like, they're still going off year-old narrative that Boston are better than us. So,
ACT, what website is that?
Oh, it's a local betting agent, down here in Australia. Betting's legal here, so I can look at the odds for anything.
CT, you should message them and say 29 national games. I don't know who's making that, man. Like, come on, like, think about it. Hey, Devon, you've been a Knicks fan since the 70s, right?
Yes,
CT, you've been a Knicks fan since the 90s, like me. When is the last time you guys both been excited for preseason games?
Oh, probably when Melo first arrived.
Right.
Yep.
But even that we knew Melo was gonna play, but now like we're excited about 15 guys, and the expectations is like that's exciting to me. Like even for the chat, like listen, we're looking at future. We're looking at our future right now, and we're also looking at our present and combining the two to know that, we got some dog. Who is the dog on this team, man?
Yeah. You know what? Like I tell people, we always positive about the Knicks because that's how we feel. That don't mean that we don't know the facts, though. You know what I mean? Let's not get it twisted. We could be the most positive. I don't get what people. Yeah, I'm very optimistic. I'm always optimistic about everything in life. I'm optimistic. I'm not that dude. So I like to speak optimistic about things that I think that bring for a better feeling. So we always speak optimistic about the Knicks on this show because we want to give people a good feeling. But that don't mean we don't know that the other nuance and ins and outs of the Knicks when it's not a good situation. Let's say like this here. We just prefer to be upbeat about it and look at the positives in life. And that's what I do as a Knicks fan. I look at the positive things in the Knicks. And it's because there's not a lot of negativity going on in the Knicks right now. We've been through that 8 years ago. You know what I mean? We've been through that, all that. You know what I mean? We know basketball. We know that the Knicks ain't got superstars like a lot of these teams. That's not the point. You know what I mean? It's not the point. But you know what? They are an NBA team, and I think they're a good NBA team. And so I'm gonna stay upbeat about it because last year I had the Knicks 36 wins when I knew we was getting Tom Thibodeau, and you can go check that on the videotape. You know what I mean? Because I seen what they had. You know what I mean? Now, and I like you said, Vegas had us at 22 wins last year. Come on, double that. You almost doubled that.
If I tell you a few, sorry to cut you off. If I tell you a few other markets, you'll laugh. But you go ahead. I'll pull something up.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that's what makes me optimistic right there. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you just could say it ain't gonna be good because this name don't sound like that name, or you might not think that this talent, but it's a team sport though. You know what I mean? Like I said, a lot of teams got better. We understand that, but listen, do a lot of them teams play defense like we do? You know what I mean? So it's not only about everybody getting better. What can your team do collectively? Okay, we know Chicago Bulls got better. Yeah, they can score the ball more, but that don't mean they gonna beat us because our defense can slow anybody down. And I'm not talking about optimism. I'm not talking about being optimistic. I'm talking about being factual. The Knicks had one of the best defenses in the NBA last year. I understand we lost Reggie Bullock. I get that, but like I said, the Dwayne Bacon, his defense is good like that. You know what I mean? So if that dude do what Reggie Bullock did, then that's minute to me. You know what I mean? But we got to take this into consideration from all angles. I just think that these cats, they got a good team here. They structured it right. Floor spacing. What was the biggest problem Knicks had? We used to always say, we can't space the floor. Point guard it's always clogged or whatever. Now you got shooters on all sides of the court. 2 on the right, 2 on the left, Mitch in the middle. Right. It's not about being optimistic. I'm just dealing with reality here. It's facts. You know it. And I think that's what we got to take consideration. So we got to see how it all pans out, because is Kyle Lowry and all these guys gonna have to chase all these guys? Is you could pick some of your best defenders. They're gonna have to chase the Knicks now. You know, if the Knicks is moving that ball around that perimeter, you're gonna have them cats chasing. You know what I mean? Because you got 4 cats who literally could knock that down. You know what I mean? So we didn't have that last year. The ball got stagnant. It was a stagnant offense because it couldn't move around, because we couldn't get. I think Elfrid Payton not be able to knock down a 3, not his game, not his overall game, but not be able to make teams more honest on the defense because of the lack of 3-ball shot changes the game to me. Now this year, I don't think they got to be that stagnant. CT, I just think that it's a different thing for me. That's why I'm optimistic about it. You know, looking at what they got there. I
think, to me, the best teams that are always
okay. Hey, KJ, let me ask you a question. Which one of them guys you think gonna crack the rotation between? Do you think now? I'm gonna rephrase that. Do you think there's anybody outside that backcourt the back 5? We already got the second unit that can get beat out. That you think is on the Knicks team now? Between Quickly, Derrick Rose, Alex Burks, Obi Toppin, and Nerlens Noel. Is there anybody after them you think can take a spot for one of them guys?
I think McBride. I'm going McBride. I think McBride could take Quickly's spot just because McBride can show defense. Like CT, to your point, Quickly could be a defensive liability. You know, you got the floater or he's shooting a 3-pointer. You know, he quick. You know, but I think McBride does it. I think McBride is my guy that I would go with to answer your question.
Yeah, he's got the inside.
Tell again if I can hear you.
Yeah. I was saying salute to you. Now I'm trying to tell Tricky Nicky salute to him.
Man. Salute, Tricky Nicky.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Hey, Devon, hold on real quick, right? So, and you know, guys, in any walk of life, your leader, you only as good as your leader, right? In anything we do in this life, right? How many coaches are Tom Thibodeau? We're learning under Tom Thibodeau, a defensive genius, and a guy that's going to work the heck out of you, right? So they getting that every 1 through 15 guys on the team is getting that every day. So guess what? Every guy that's on that team, your number get called. You think them guys ain't gonna work hard? They don't want to go back to that bench. You can't learn from the bench.
Right. You can't get your money.
You can't learn from the bench. Them new guys that just came in, that came from college. They see all the bags these guys are getting right now. Mm-hmm. Oh, we gotta perform. So that's why I said the internal competition. It's gonna make the Knicks into a like the players coming up, and that's why I said I give McBride that slot. That could take a spot.
Okay. What about you, CT?
Devon, you said he could take one. You said a guy that could take one spot, right? From 10, right?
Yeah. Out of that second unit, the 5 players in the second unit. Yeah. Is it the player on the situational side of things can crack that rotation? So you said McBride.
I'm going McBride.
What about you, CT?
I'm going with Grimes. Yeah, I think Alec Burks is injury prone or prone to a move. I think Grimes will come in and show he's the best 2-way wing, you know, right now.
Yeah. So I mean, you know what, and like I said, that's a good problem to have because it tells me that we got a good strong second unit there. You know what I mean? And knowing that these are rookies who might be able to crack it, might not, and that just told you to me that the team is good enough to they go 10 deep and compete and don't even have to use the other 5 unless something happens. So I think the team, you can go 10 deep and you got 5 of them ball players might not see the light unless somebody get injured. So
somebody getting blown out.
Right. So that's the makings of a pretty solid team to me. You know what I mean? Like I said,
And then,
we talk about them because they young guys. We want them to prosper, and we want them to be who they are. But when they get in the playoffs, so I think it's a good problem to have, to know that we really got this team. Put like this here: everybody in the Knicks 10, and the Knicks there's the starting 5, and the second unit. Think about this here: all 10 of them guys been in the playoffs. Fournier been to the playoffs. Kemba Walker been to the playoffs.
Right.
Been to the playoffs. Quickly was there last year. Obi was there last year. Alex Burks been there a couple of times. Noel been there before. To me, that's what you want right there. You know, you got to make sure when next time when you go into these battles, these guys is ready for it. So now quickly, and Obi Toppin had a year to be in the playoffs, understand what it's about now. They went up there against Atlanta, and they understand what it's about.
And they kept their core together. For them to keep their core together, like Tom Thibodeau type guys he wanted, for them to keep those guys with us and then signed Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker was huge. And then to draft Deuce and Grimes was huge. Like, we're very deep. We're very deep. But honestly, I agree with CT on this point. It's Deuce, and I agree with KJW. Deuce is legit. He's gonna be the real deal. We gotta focus on him more. Because I'm telling you, Tibbs gonna give him minutes because the guy can play defense.
Yeah, I mean that's a good part to have. So if that's the case, then you know what? So if that's the case, either somebody getting beat out or Tibbs gonna change up his style and say, I'm gonna go 11 men.
And hold on, and this is why I said my point before about the lineup. You could go 3-guard deep lineup. Like it's a lot of ways you can go, and it's situational. Like we're everybody predicting the starting lineup: Kemba Fournier, Julius Barrett, and Mitchell. Right? That's the lineup. Everybody Knicks fan is saying. I'm telling you though, like we just those combinations, all them guards. We got defenders that could take Trae Young out of his game. We can go small ball on him now. You know, so it's so many ways. Like the Lakers have a big team. They a veteran team, right? But can the Lakers keep up with us if we flip it and go small with a 3-guard set and run them boys got it? Now we might get bruised up down low, but you know they gonna get up in them. So that's why I said. I don't be surprised if we go with a 3-guard set some games. I know teams don't like splitting it up, but I'm telling you, a 3-guard set for the team in the East.
What's scary, KJW? What's scary though is if you actually have Deuce on the floor with like Kemba or a Rose, like it's gonna make it hard for them to even get it past half court. Like they're gonna DM up, and then they're looking at a shot clock where they got like 12 or 13 seconds to go to get their offense. So, yeah, that's scary. But if it does go to where it's an inside ball game, we'd be screwed.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, real quick now. The hardest working man in the street business besides Seb.
What's up? I just wanted to pop in and make sure I show the chat that I'm still part of the program. Make sure I make sure my face here. You know, salute to everyone on the panel, the dais, what's going on? KW, CT.
Yeah.
I don't know the fellow on my right here. Salute, I'm BX Jedi.
Tricky
and of course,
Nicky.
Divine, Tricky Nicky, what's going on? Divine, like always, is a pleasure, my buddy here.
Yes,
and
sir.
Salute to everyone. Salute Alton Lee. And it's great to be on here, man. The Yankees have a good win. I said, let me stop in and say hello, at least for 20 minutes before I get to sleep. Yeah, and let me see that hat there. I like that hard hat, man. Turn it over. Man, that's a nice hard hat. Yeah, very nice.
New York.
It's a Giants.
Yeah, it's a Giants baseball cap. Is what it is.
Giants.
That's right. We rebounded Sunday. We going up to Washington.
No, we're winning tomorrow. Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, I'm going to say. I'm sorry.
Tomorrow night.
Hey, BS, hold up. Hey, listen.
I picked the Giants over Washington.
Giant game, right? Let me tell you, it's the play calling is terrible. I'm gonna leave it at that. We'll go back to that Knicks.
We'll go back to the Knicks. We could break that down on our football program. I'll send you the invite. Well, we don't want to take away from the Knicks real talk
Absolutely.
here. But because I'm like a shot out of cannon. I miss talking to all you guys there, even though I'm doing all this play-by-play and all this talking. But it's salute to Dave Ross, Alton Lee. I appreciate every one of you. Queen's Court, I saw she's in the building, aka Uncle Julio, a la Wise. City for real, my main guy. I'm glad he's around.
City.
Yeah, man. I appreciate every one of you, man. I can't wait for the Knicks season to start. So we're back at our normal slot and talking about Knicks, breaking everything down, the nuts and bolts right now. I'm so what's the subject right now, so I could chime in and give my little bit of 2 cents in and be part of up to speed. Who wants to bring me up to speed where we at now?
Yeah. We just was talking about which one of them players. KJ brought up a good point that you think had a chance to crack that second unit. Which one of them situations play, whether Grimes, McBride, Sims, whoever the case may be, Bacon, Vildozas, is there anybody can beat out somebody in that second unit?
Knox.
Not there, right? Yeah, you got to go right?
No one mentions Knox' name anymore.
I forgot all about now. My bad.
I'm glad you mentioned that name because remember he's going on they're gonna think if they're gonna pick up his option, a 4th-year option, and maybe he's going to be the first one out of the gate to get the opportunity to try to crack that rotation because they have Grimes in the rotation in the system already. He's not going anywhere, and so is McBride. But I think the first one up is up to him. They're going to say you're the first one, like you're going to throw a baby in the pool. You're going to learn how to swim, and I think they're going to do that with him first, with Knox. And if you sink or swim, this is your year. If you sink, I'm sorry. And then after that, I think it's gonna be McBride because the way he brings the defense, playing under Huggins in West Virginia, smart IQ player defensively, and the intangibles that I think he has the characteristics that what Coach Thibodeau likes, and I think he might be the second. And then who knows if Grimes just catches fire if they need let's say God forbid not their offense is lackluster and they need shooters. And then, it might be a situation on what the Knicks need at that time, how the team unfolds and how they're seeing going forward, in my opinion.
So, Kev, is it Kev? So I know how to call you, right?
You can go to BX. My first name is Kevin, but BX is cool. Everyone knows me here as BX.
Okay, well, I'm going to call you Kev by your name and give you respect. So,
I appreciate it.
I agree with you. I think Tom Thibodeau actually is sweet on Knox yet. I kind of do. Like, otherwise he wouldn't be here right now at this point. I think Tibbs likes Kev's defense, but he's just waiting for that offense, kind of to come out. We got to see it. Fans got to see it. Everybody's got to see it. But the only thing is, Tibbs, in order for us to see it, you got to give Knox some minutes. You got to give him some minutes. Like when he was a rookie, he was getting 29 minutes a game, and then Tibbs comes here, he's down to 9. Like you got to give him minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, Tricky. We also didn't have this team when Kev was a rookie neither though. We ain't had the team we got now. So
no, I agree, and I'm not defending Knox. Right. I think Knox got to go get his own.
That's exactly what I'm about to say. He got to go get
it. Like RJ is. RJ is getting his own. He's showing he wants to be here. He belongs here. RJ's not afraid of the moment. Knox, to me, is afraid of the moment a little bit. But if he can get past that and get past that mental block, whatever is going on inside his head, I think Kevin Knox could be a really good offensive player. We know he can play defense.
Right. And one thing about Knox that we tend to see, he gets to it a little bit lackluster or a little laziest back on defense, and that's going to burn Thibodeau. But you got to give that young man credit. He's been all we've seen since the season is ending, him in videos working out, putting the work in. And you know what they say, the harder you work, the more you're gonna reap what you sow. If he's working his rear end off, he wants to stay in the NBA and he wants to get another contract, regardless if it's not with the Knicks or not. But he needs to show not just the Knicks, but other teams that he is an NBA player, and there is a lot of potential to that team, to his talent. They were comparing him to a poor man's Kevin Durant. Not nowhere near his level, but the way the skill set and the length and the lengthiness and the ball movement. But I guess there's a little bit of his own shyness or not putting in the work, but now he's saying, I got to get serious here. I'm going to be playing in China seriously if he doesn't really put the work in. So I think that man is motivated, that young man, and I think, remember, he's only 22 years old, guys, or 23.
Yeah,
so,
he's young.
Yeah,
he's
so maybe
barely
he's
older than RJ.
Right, so he's probably getting into the age of maturity. So that young man is, I think I may be one of the few looking on his bandwagon, but I think he's gonna have a good year, bro. I think he's gonna make it impossible for.
I think we as Knicks fans, we all hope that, and I think the rest of the panel is right though. This is the year he's got to do it, especially for Tibbs and Tibbs' second year, because if he doesn't do it this year, then Tibbs is risking his job keeping him on the team, and he's gonna be gone. I'm not saying he's gonna be out of the NBA because I don't see that. Like look what Dallas is doing right now. Guess who they just signed?
Right?
Yeah. So if you look at it that way, I get it. But I'm saying Tibbs got to look out for his job and the other players on the team. And I don't know if Knox is the guy. But I see Tibbs saying, hey, here's your chance. But if Tibbs is actually saying that, then Tibbs got to have him on the floor so we can prove it.
Well, you know what he got to do? Yeah, you know what Knox got to do? He got to go into training camp like 20 other dudes and go compete. You know what I mean? Only thing he can do, he got no choice. You got to go into summer camp and let Tibbs see what you have done over the summer to improve your game. And say, you know what? Okay, it's training camp. You either beat him or you don't. But it's all what it boils down to. You beat him or you don't. Can you crack this? If you can't crack it, then you know. But I know what I said. To me, it's important. That's why it's important for Knox, because I do think that if Obi go down, if Obi or Burks go down, Knox is that perfect 3 or 4. I think he can go to the 4 because of his length. And I think his body maturity over the last 4 years, so he can hold it down. Maybe the OB get back and Knox can shoot the 3 ball too. He got talent. He just that it hadn't been full display in New York City. And but let's see, because other than Obi Toppin and Alex Burks, I can see Grimes and McBride coming in at Burke's spot, yeah, but then we still short down there. You know what I mean? We super short. Now we got quickly Derrick Rose and Grimes or McBride. That's a small team, which is not bad. It all depends on who they going up against. You know what I mean? And on the other team, but I do think that it's not bad.
Divine though, if you look at it, yeah, we could be short. We could be a small team, but if you look at the dudes that we got in New York, they're built. I mean, they're rock solid dudes. They're bullies. Like they could be 2 inches shorter and still back that dude up to get that shot or get that pass off. Like we ain't got a bunch of skinny dudes other than what, IQ? I think he's the only team. And Noel, yeah. But like with Mitch returning, I can see some type of bully ball, and we don't got to have height. That's not the way the NBA is played now. I do think though the big man is coming back in the center position. I do believe that, but I'm saying you're looking at point guards that we got like Derrick Rose, kind of small, right? Derrick Rose, he's no pushover. And if you look at Deuce McBride, you look at Grimes, he's no pushover. You look at Obi Toppin, he gains a little bit of weight. He's no pushover. Randall is definitely not. Like the Knicks are building dogs right now. They're building the team like they had back in 92, 93, right before they went to the finals. And the only thing that's missing is for Mitch to show up and show out. And then we got our starting center, And I hope they do that. And guess what? Jeff Van Gundy and Pat Riley back in those days, they preach defense. That would be our coach, right? You know what? Tibbs ain't far off. Other than the fact that, Tom Thibodeau likes to burn 9, and those guys back in the day would play 11 or 12. Well, the league has changed. But if Tibbs can go 11 deep in the regular season and keep guys fresh for the playoffs and then burn 9 in the playoffs, we're talking, we're going Eastern Conference Finals for real.
Yeah,
In my opinion, that's my opinion, but I'm saying for real. And if we run to the next second round, then I can see us not making it there. But if we run into Milwaukee, we can beat those Bucks. I know we can beat those Bucks. We can beat those Sixers. We can beat those Hawks. We can beat any other team than the Nets. And honestly, if the Nets aren't healthy, then you're talking something different.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting. Go ahead, CT. Excuse me.
No, you good.
No, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of variables in all this stuff, man. It got it all. Everything got to break a certain way, and like I said, but I do like the team. I really do. I like what they did, because and not only that, that was out there. And I love I said what was out there. Okay, so whether DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Lowry, Dennis Schroeder, it's not like the guys you turned down is above the guys that we got. You know what I mean? I don't think neither one of them guys I just said is that better than Kemba Walker. Even Kemba Walker injured. I don't think. I say Kyle Lowry from his experience in being a championship ball player, but Lonzo Ball and them cats ain't did nothing that Kemba Walker haven't done. I'm sorry. 4-time All-Star, All-Team NBA, third team. Lonzo Ball ain't do that. Them cats out there didn't do that. He did it. You know what I mean? So that's why
Lonzo Ball is not even close to the level of Kemba when he was in his prime. There is no way. Yeah. I know there's a lot of fans out there that love Lonzo Ball, and I can't say anything because the kid is young. You got to let him develop. But to be honest, Kemba Walker is on another level right now. So, and I know Kemba's 31, but the thing is, Lonzo's a young kid. So if Lonzo has a better career, it wouldn't surprise me. But right now, that's not where we're at. We can't.
And the reason why I brought that up because why when you look at the guys who went in free agency, where they went and who they went, blah blah blah. You pick out all the names. Who was out there that you thought was better than Kemba as far as what he could do and what he have done? Because I think what he has done plays a part. You know what I mean?
You mean as far as the Knicks getting a point?
Steal, yeah.
Yeah, just a general free agency.
The reason Kemba was the best, in my opinion, this is my opinion. The reason Kemba was the best, yes, I understand this injury history, and Derrick Rose has that too. But we got Deuce as a backup. I'm not saying IQ can play many point guard minutes, but the reason Kemba was the best is because Kemba Walker chose us. He wanted to be here. That's the reason he's the best for us. He wants to be in New York. He wants the Knicks fans to holler at him when he's failing. He wants the Knicks fans to scream for him when he's doing good. And Kemba's Brooklyn born, he's from the
Bronx.
So you got to give him that. Okay, well, yeah, the Bronx. But you know what I'm saying? He's always dreamed of being a New York Net. So to me,
he's here now.
You're gonna show out and show up if you're playing for the team that you love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, real talk. Let KJ and CT get in real quick, tricky. But good points though. That was real good points. But I do think that we gonna be fine. CT, I really do. KJ, I think we're gonna be fine.
Hey CT, remember when I was on your show? I said they're going to be a top 5 starting lineup by the end of the season.
Yes, sir. And I like that we're slept on. The fact that Miami got better, Chicago got better, Indiana improved, Boston will be better again. But at the end of the day, they'll see how potent our lineup is, our bench is, our strength. We got situationals that can get minutes at any other club. And I think, less pressure on Randall, less pressure on Kemba even. Kemba's never been in a situation where he's never had to carry the load, you had to carry Charlotte on his back. Now he can be like third in line on any night. He can even rest if he wants, play 26 minutes. So how many minutes do you guys think Tibbs will play Kemba, and how many minutes do you want to see him play him?
I'm 24.
24.
Yeah, me too.
God, Divine.
Wow, 24.
I say 24, and I say you're gonna play Rose about 18 to 20, and you got to give Deuce about 4 to 6. That's my opinion.
I think it goes by whatever the opponent is in the situation, and whoever's the right hot hand. If Kemba's having a good game against a certain point guard or certain team, I think he'll just ride him, or not. Not to the ground, not 32 minutes, but go over maybe and play him over that 24-minute mark, or vice versa. If Rose is having a hell of a game and he's not struggling, and he's going to continue and play Rose more than Kemba, or vice versa. I think it depends on his matchups, in my opinion.
Yep.
Okay, Kev. I agree, Kev. But CT, can I modify your question?
Yeah.
Can we say, like, on average, throughout the whole season, what do you think the minutes will be?
Okay.
I'm saying 24 for Kemba, about 18 to 20 for Rose, and maybe 4 to 6 for Deuce. I'm just saying on average, and I can see Deuce getting maybe a couple minutes at shooting guard, or playing with Kemba extra, or playing with Rose. I get all that, but let's go on average throughout the season.
I can see that. And also it could be barring injuries too. I can see that there.
Yeah, I was going with 25 minutes. That's what I had him at.
I like that too. Either way can go wrong. It all depends how the season rolls out, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? I was saying, what I was looking at? I was looking at what Tibbs normally do. Tibbs, he take the point guard out, he put the point guard in. He's not one of them guys that shifts everything. When the center go out, a center go in. When a power forward go out, a power forward go in. That's how he coaches. It ain't like if a power forward go out, he's gonna bring a small forward to that thing. He don't even do that. He's a very structural coach. So I do think the reason why I brought that up, because he might go 10 deep. He might, even though he still might just say, I'm going 10 deep, because you know what, basketball is a game of rhythm. If I get too many guys minutes, the other guy's not getting in rhythm, or it's just disrupting the offense. He might just stick to his principles and say, Derrick Rose is my backup at 24, Kemba Walker is my starter at 24.
Well, I agree with that, Divine, but if he goes 10 deep, if he's going 10 deep, right, Divine?
Yeah, I would say so.
That's only because we started the season like 4-7 or something. Then he has to. If we come out with like a great start and say we go like 13-5, then he's going to go 11-12 deep, because we got to have that trade bait before the February 12th deadline. We got to have that available. We got to show the guys we got that we could give away to make a run in the playoffs. But you're right. I can see Tibbs doing that. That's Tibbs' history. He loves to do it. But he's not going to do that if we come out smoking. He's only going to do that if we come out like crashing and we're not hitting our shots, and Randall's still in this slump and playing like he did in the playoffs. He's hitting 34% from 3, and we're losing games we should win. But I can see Tibbs going 11 deep, 12 deep if we get some blowout games and playing these guys.
Right. So one of the problems we had last year, our best player in the playoffs was Derrick Rose, in my opinion. Do you guys agree with that?
I totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
So if we see what happened with Derrick Rose in that 5th game, he was spent out, right? So now,
he got burned out. Like, he was the only guy that was doing it.
Hey, Tricky. Let him finish the thought, and then you come in after him. All right?
Yeah. So it's all good. I like the excitement, Trick. I'm gonna call you Trick, man. I like that name, Tricky. Tricky Nicky. I like it.
Hey, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
You good, my brother. You good.
Hey, your energy is great, man. It's late, but we love the energy, man, and it's good to have that. But to my point, now with these other guards we have, Derrick Rose, and to the point we're making about the minutes now, Tibbs doesn't have to play these guys long like that. So I think everybody's minutes will go down for a good cause because we need the playoffs. We can't have Derrick Rose as the best player in the playoffs. And not to take from Derrick Rose, but we need more. We need more legs in the playoffs this year if we're gonna go past Atlanta. That's just my point I'm making. You know.
Good point on that one.
Hey, KJW, then. Like
Yes, sir.
I would like to see, this is what I would like to see. I would like to see the Knicks go all in the first, 65 games. And I would like to see a lot of rest. I would like to see them solidify, maybe, a 5 seed or a 4 seed, hopefully. And even if we end up a 6 seed, but at least be rested for the playoffs. You think they would do that? You think Tibbs would do that?
I think Tibbs is going. Why? Tibbs is going to stick to the script. He's not going to change. Tibbs is not going to change anything up. As we seen last year, he's not changing one thing. He's going to ride the guys who we think is playing hard, and he's going to give guys chances to prove themselves. And if they can't prove themselves, they're going to be on the bench or they're going to go somewhere else. So
exactly, yep.
And like I said, it's the old saying: don't burn the wheel. Let the wheel keep running. Let it keep spinning. Let it keep going. Don't change it.
Yeah, you know what? But you know what's, and that's a great point, Katie. Because you know what dictates that playing time we all talking about? What they gonna do? Because we can want them to play Grimes all you want to. If Grimes don't do what he's supposed to do against a man quickly or them cats, he ain't playing.
Right.
If Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox don't do what they supposed to do against some other dudes, and they can't handle, they ain't playing. So I don't know. I don't know all the other stuff. All the other stuff don't mean nothing. When them cats training. Yes, sir.
So to sign Evan Fournier to a 4-year, $78 million contract. I mean, you got to play him. You got to give him minutes. You got to give him shots.
Nicky, we're not talking about that.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying is, with Randall.
Nicky, hold up for a minute. Excuse me for a minute, please. Excuse me for a minute. I need you to let everybody finish their thoughts and then jump in. Just do that for me because, you know what, I don't want nobody feeling they being disrespected, somebody talking and jumping over them while they talking. Let him finish his point, and then you can come in. I'll be glad for you to come back in. Just make sure everybody get their fair chance of speaking before we can get around this panel, all right?
Okay. Appreciate
you. But yeah, CT, man, I think them cats gotta go and beat each other out, man. I just think that I'm an old school dude. I believe that when you got somebody going up against you, the best man win. I don't care who it is, the best man win. If he better than you, he gonna play before you. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. We won't get no Fizdale situation here with Tibbs. You got to earn it. If you're a rookie and you can outperform the other guy, and you can show Tibbs you can help him win, he's going to go with you. He wants to win games. He doesn't care about vets, and the only reason he trusts Taj Gibson and Rose so much is because he's won so many games with them. He knows they can help him win. Whereas Mitchell Robinson has all the talent in the world, but has he shown that he can help Tibbs win? Not yet. He'll go with someone who can show. Kemba Walker's shown he can win games. We know that. Randall's shown him he can win games. With this preseason, I want to see us sit the vets some more and play these situationals. Let them duke it out. Let's say we got the second to last or last preseason game. We've already got the juices flowing. Just sit the guys for the second half and let these situationals show out.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And that's what I mean. They go in there and battle against each other, man. BX, they go in there and battle, and like I said, they're gonna be in training camp, and he's gonna say, okay, what 10 dudes give me the best chance of getting out of that first round? This ain't about. Listen, Knicks is trying to win. And they not going into no playoffs unless they got the people who can handle that pressure. that lost last year in the playoffs. Because why? They couldn't handle the pressure. Too big for them. To me, I think that, and I think when it got into certain nuances of the game, the pressure was too much. You couldn't get. I really believe that. I think certain situations they just did, and they didn't have the talent. I don't think enough talent to overcome the poor shooting. But at the same time, look who the ones who was doing good there: Derrick Rose, and Todd Gibson, and Obi Toppin. And Obi Toppin had a good game because his season started, his energy and everything. But it's important to recognize that, because when we get to the playoffs, we want to hope when McBride's name is called, Grimes' name is called, they ready. That's the main thing to me. Just be ready. You know what I mean? Because I just really don't think, from me watching Tom Thibodeau all the years, unless you beat this man out, if you don't beat him out, then you're not cracking that fight. I think that second unit 5 is straight. And with Grimes and going in and beat quickly out, then you can have a job. Then we might change it. But if you don't go in there and show improvement, I think he's gonna keep starting. I don't think they make the road. I don't think they crack the 10-man rotation unless he go deeper than like 10, 11, or 12 guys. Other than that, they got to show improvement, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my final point, and then I'm gonna get off. I gotta go sleep one, and I gotta take what they calling from there. So I want to make my quick point with that. I think nobody's job other than Julius and RJ and the starting lineup, all their jobs are not safe. I think everybody has to go into this training camp with that mindset. You can lose your job. So I think he's gonna keep everybody on their toes. Coming in there in the second unit, like quickly. So what, you're here in the second year? Big deal. I'll be topping too. If you're here on the second year, so what? If you get beat out in training camp, you're gonna be now sitting like Kevin Knox was 3 years last year, and he sat almost the whole year. So that shows that nobody's job is safe. I think that was also a message that they could, or a rally call they could show their players. Just because you're here doesn't mean you're gonna play. You don't got you got to earn that, bad boy. You gotta get in there and get you and roll up those sleeves. Put that hard hat that you got on, but it's gonna say Knicks on it. Get your lunch pail and go grind in Knicks City Gritty Committee, and that's how it gotta be. So with that, guys, I'm gonna say good night. Thank you for having me on.
Good night.
I'm glad I popped in here and see Tricky. It was nice speaking to you, CT.
Thank
you for snapping by always and giving my love to the channel, Divine. I'm sorry you got lost today, but man, I still have my love for you and respect. And KGW, man, I'll see you around too. There,
absolutely, brother.
Man. Go Giants tomorrow night. Come on, go Giants tomorrow night.
Yes, indeed. All right, BS.
Have a good night, man. Have a good night. I'll see you guys.
Hey, Tricky. What's the Knicks? What you think the Knicks record gonna be at the end of this thing, man?
I have been saying, and CT can back me up, I've always been saying 49-33 as a 5 seed. But the more I think about it, if we're healthy, we're gonna win like 52 or 53 games.
Yeah, I was on that same thing. I had
if we're healthy, Divine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree, Nikki. Tricky Nikki. I had them at 50, 51, 52. I was up in that range. I really think this team is different, So let's hope that it all can transpire on the court, and hope that it becomes a fruition. We do. Then I think everybody got a lot. What I know is a lot of teams is only in the 40. We're not even projected to win like 42. Miami 46. They don't have a lot of teams cracking 50. I guess that's because they think everybody got better to hold the Eastern Conference. It got better, so now they're trying to lower their expectation with wins, because everybody. Now I can understand that, but I still think we gonna reach our number.
See, the problem is last year they predicted we'd win, what was it, 29 or 31 games?
22.
22. And look they won 41. So it goes to show how much they actually freaking know about Julius Randle, RJ, and them boys in New York. So in my opinion, like for them to predict us to win how many this year?
I think like 42 or something like that, CT.
Okay, 42? Well, yeah, let's go a little higher then, because they got it wrong last year. I mean, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't have any idea about team chemistry. They have no idea about the mindset of a Julius Randle or an RJ Barrett. They don't have the mindset of a Tibbs. These guys making these predictions, it's all about money. They're wanting to make money, and they want us to bet against them so they make money. And real Knicks fans know, nah, we're better than that. And the truth is, we are better than that. We are better than that. We already know it. I can't disagree with a lot of Knicks fans because there's many out there that say 45, 46, 47, 48 wins. I always said 49, 33. There's other Knicks fans that say 51, 52, 55. Now, 60 might be a stretch. I've seen fans say that. But we're in the middle of 45 to 55 wins. And if I'm going to the middle, I'm going right smack dab, right to 50. And it's plus or minus after that. Like, I don't know. But the thing is I know we got guys that want to win. And we've never had that before. Randall wants to win. RJ wants to win. You got Mitchell Robinson on a contract here that wants to win games so he can get his bag. He needs his bag. He's got 150 agents out there coming after him. But honestly, like I would say, if they're healthy, we could win 52 to 53 games. If they're healthy, if Kemba's healthy, Rose stays healthy, and Mitch. Those three guys will be the reason we get to that point. And if Philly does trade away like a Ben Simmons and doesn't get anybody, or if Ben Simmons doesn't play, even if Ben Simmons plays, you're looking at Randall being in MVP talks. You're looking at RJ being in most improved player talks, especially if they win like 52 to 55 games. I mean, that's a real discussion to talk about. And people are sleeping on the Knicks. They don't get it. They're only thinking about last year's playoffs against Atlanta. And the real fact is Julius Randle and Derrick Rose, they did all they could do. They were tired. RJ was tired. They were all tired. Who else was on that team that was really, truly helping them out? Maybe we got the guys to help them out now. And people need to understand that.
Yeah, absolutely, KJ. I think that's what it is. They got people to help them out now. So I think it's going to be different out there for sure.
Hey, Devon, also, man, don't, and I think we forget sometimes the amount of games that Robinson missed and Burks missed. We could have had 50-something wins last year if these teams, if they would have stayed healthy, you know. So
not in a 72 game season though.
Yeah, but I mean, I
been like 45 wins maybe.
We won 41, and we didn't expect that, and they got hurt. So my thing is, I just predicted that 52 and 30, right? And if all else goes well, it could be even higher than that, just based on our expectations. Our 3-pointers now, we're a better 3-point shooting team. I think so. Our numbers go up more, and then also I forgot to mention, Obi Toppin just had his first child.
Yeah, that's gonna make him step up. You think? Yeah, like exactly. He's a daddy now.
Right. So my point is, you know, when you got
something
kids,
to work for. Something to work for.
Exactly. So that's my point, Devon and CT and Trick. Yeah, I think you know, our expectations, we all have high expectations for this team. I got him at 52 and 30. And what do you think, CT?
Yeah, what was your odds?
Yeah, 52. I think you had him at 52, right? 52 wins.
Yeah. I had him at 52 and 30.
Yeah. I said 47, 48. Just being in a more modest projection, but I think they could definitely hit 50. Yeah, it's all about how we stack up against the West, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I showed you some of the odds here. Over under is at 41.5. I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hitting the overs on that.
Right, yeah, all day.
Couple
All day.
free meals.
Yeah, we won that last year. What are they talking about?
CT, that was our point. That was my point. They were predicted to win 22 last year, and they won 41. They were 19 over.
Yeah.
So that was my point.
And let me show you some teams in the East.
But the East is tougher. You're right.
They've got Boston, Philly ahead of us. It's just crazy. Eastern Conference. Here we go. Here are some teams they've got ahead of us: the Chicago Bulls, the Pacers, Boston and the Hawks.
CT, you got these teams. Let's break those down. Let's see how they're better. Because I don't agree with DeRozan and Ball going to the Bulls makes them better than us signing Kemba and Fournier.
Me neither.
I don't see it. I mean, it's slightly. They got the Bulls at 26. They got the Knicks at 34.
Bulls weren't the Bulls last year like a play-in team? Didn't make it.
They didn't make it. I don't think they made it.
No, they didn't make it. They weren't in the playoffs.
The Knicks get Lonzo Ball and DeRozan, and they're probably ridiculed, like, oh, the Knicks struck out. But they go on the Bulls, and they're like, oh, the Bulls are in contention.
Right.
Right.
On,
that's main. Right, CT. That's mainstream media. And then if you actually think about it, though, who did the Bulls draft? Who did they draft? That was actually going to be good. Like, I can look at Grimes and Deuce and Jericho Sims and be like, oh, my God, we kind of won that draft. You look at the Bulls and they go, oh, we got DeRozan and we got Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball hasn't proved shit. And you got Derek DeRozan. Guess what? He reminds me a lot of Allen Houston. And I love Allen Houston because I'm from Detroit. But the thing is DeRozan's on his way out. He's getting old. He's getting tired. They didn't gain much. And DeRozan plays Zach LaVine's spot. So it makes it even more difficult for Chicago.
I think they're going to have a fun offense. I think they're going to be fun to watch. I can tell you that right now. I think they're going to be fun to watch. My problem is the reason why I don't put them over the Knicks. They got some good offensive talent there. Zach LaVine is the real deal. You know what I mean? Let's make no mistake about that. He's the real deal. DeMar DeRozan is a legitimate. He's the real deal too. I mean, DeMar DeRozan been putting buckets in. Look at the numbers last year. 20-something games. They good on the offense. I just question. I don't think they better than this because I think our defense is way better than it is. DeRozan's not a defender. Lonzo Ball is an above average defender. LaVine is an athlete. He's not a great defender. And Vucevic is not a good defender. You know what I mean? Patrick Williams, if he's going to be doing the 4, he's a second year. I mean, I'm not saying he's not good. I don't really know what the defense game is, but they starting 5 defense is not good at all.
You know, I've been on some Chicago chats. I go everywhere. I've been on New Orleans, Charlotte. I've been on a lot of chats, and I've been on Chicago chats, and they think Vucevic actually is a trade bait piece. And I'm like, why would you trade away a guy like that when you got too many point guards and shooting guards to begin with, and they ain't gonna mix unless you're playing total small ball, and that ain't gonna work in today's NBA. It's not gonna work anymore. It's not gonna work. You're gonna get bullied in the playoffs. Sorry, it'll work in the regular season. Teams will let it fly, but in the playoffs, it's not gonna work.
You know, and let's look at this here. Let's go to the next team. Let's go to the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, that's another one. Like
Miles Turner. You got Miles Turner at the 5, Sabonis at the 4, TJ Warren if he come back on time, or if not, you might have to slide in Doyle trades or what's her name, Jeremy Lamb until he get there. Then you got
LeVert
and my man Brogdon. Good team. What I like about that team is balance. Well, I won't say that. I would say the only defender is Brogdon and Miles Turner. I think everybody else is athletic.
But they're no better than my Detroit Pistons. They're no better than my Detroit Pistons. They're a young team. They traded away a lot of talent. they're not even. You're looking at them being an 8th round. They're going to get an 8th pick.
I can see them getting 8 to 6, whatever. But I do think that team is deep. Then you got to take in the acquisition of Coach Carlisle.
No, you're right. They're dangerous. They can be dangerous, but they ain't going to be consistent enough to actually like run for the playoffs. I think you got to wait and see what Carlisle do, because coaching makes a big difference. And and that Rick Carlisle didn't do anything in Detroit. He's not going to do anything there for him. I'm telling you, Rick. And first off, it's becoming a defensive league. And if you got Miles Turner, what does Rick Carlisle do for Turner and Brogdon? If they're defensive players and you got an offensive coach with a bunch of young guys, you're looking at a team that is probably going to win about 30 games at max.
No, I disagree, because you know why? Even though you might not be a defense coach, don't mean you don't have a defense assistant coach, or you might have another a coach on your roster who preaches defense. It's sometimes not all about the head coach all the time. Like if he's an offense-minded coach, that means his coordinator got to probably be defense-minded coordinator, for somebody who can teach the defense part of the game to the players while he rolls the offense. So yeah, but I think they talented. I really, now you cannot underestimate what Rick Carlisle got a ring. You know what I mean? He got a ring. You know what I mean? Ain't not too many coaches to say that. Tom Thibodeau can't even say that. The man got a ring. You know what I mean? I think he's a good enough coach and to go with that team and get them to the 6. I can see 6'5", 6'7". I can see them battle for that 6'7". That's a good team, man. Miles Turner, Sabonis, all-star. Miles Turner is a great defense player back there. He can get you some offense points when he stretch the floor. We know what Caris LeVert can do. You know what I mean? And you know Brogdon is a two-way player, and they got a good depth down there on their bench. You know what I mean? They got some good depth there. So I think you got to be careful with the Indiana Pacers, man. I think the Indiana Pacers they got a good team, and if T.J. Warren come back, then you got to even throw that in the acquisition. CT, so that's a team you can't sleep on.
Divine, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm going back to my Reggie Miller horror days. As a Knicks fan. So
yeah, I can imagine.
Anybody talks about the Pacers, I'm like, nah, they suck.
I know why you do it.
Remember Rick Smith, Dale Davis, and all those boys? Like, screw those dudes. Screw Indiana.
Yeah, so I think they take a leap. And I also think who else take a leap? And that was down there from last year. It got better. I think
gotta go Miami.
Oh, yeah. I got Miami. I got Miami in the top 5.
Yeah, Miami's gonna be good. I think Jimmy Butler's got something to prove this year.
Depends on health, with Lowry, he's getting old. So I don't know if Lowry has much left, 35, 36 years old. Kemba can still dance on him, But at the end of the day, Father Time's undefeated, so you will slow down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And know what's going to be tough for Miami to me is when they run against height.
Mm-hmm.
When they run against height, and you can even go check, even though they beat us and all that, but when Mitchell Robinson was playing in the game against Miami, he made it tough for Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo 6'9", 6'10", something like that. But I mean, he's talented. But he's, and the bigger guys always made it hard on him, just like they did Julius Randle. Julius Randle had a problem against 7-footers. You know what I mean? Because he only 6'8", 6'9". So and if he can't jump over these cats, he got to rely on that jump shot. And so I do think Miami got to be careful with the situation with they length. But other than that, their defense is special in that starting 5. That boy Duncan Robinson can knock it down, and Kyle Lowry can knock it down from 3. The other guys, Jimmy Butler's not a 40% 3-point shooter. Nor is Bam Adebayo, and so depending on who they put with P.J. Tucker, he can hit pretty good for the 3 every now and then, but not like he's a 40-something career. But so you got to see how all this play out. You know what I mean? Because let's say they run up against a team like us who can knock down threes like at a clip like that. Because we 39% last year in the NBA in 3-point shooting, and we added 3-point shooters. So so it's a different type of matchup, and I think we had to see I think definitely Miami, Boston, New York, Philly. Then I think you got the creme de la creme, which is the Nets and the Bucks. Then to me, you can go Philly, Miami, Knicks, and Boston.
Hey, Divine, you know what scares me about Miami though the most? And I agree with every point you made, other than one point. When you brought up Bam Adebayo, Ben Wallace, what he did in 2004, he is 6'9" too, right? Look what he did against Shaq. And don't tell me Shaq wasn't prime in 2004 with Kobe. Yeah, Karl Malone and Gary Payton maybe been out of their days, and it wasn't really a solidified dream team. But Miami does have some players around them with Bam Adebayo that can actually stop big centers. And yes, I think Miami is missing the Rasheed Wallace type guy. That's the only guy they're missing.
Yeah, hey, no. Make no mistake. I'm not talking. I don't think I said that Bam Adebayo can't get it. I said they make it harder. Mitchell Robinson makes it harder on Bam Adebayo because he could jump high. He's athletic. He got springs. I'm not saying you stopping him, but he makes it harder. So I guarantee you, Bam Adebayo field goal percentage against Mitchell Robinson won't be like Bam Adebayo field goal percentage against Julius Randle.
Right.
Him and Julius Randle both can pretty much do the same thing from a jumping standpoint, from a height standpoint. So he had this almost like an even kill when it comes to defense as far as going in the air. But when he go up against Mitchell Robinson, he had a disadvantage.
Yeah, and to me, to your point though, Divine, like Butler needs to show out this year. Last year he did. Yeah. Last year he had a bad year.
Yeah, he's aging.
And if Duncan Robinson can hit that knockdown three, but honestly, you're right. They don't really have the inside presence with Bam alone. They need another big.
Yeah, they got Damian Dedmon, I think it is.
Dedmon. There's a lot of wear and tear on Jimmy Butler. You know, the way he trains, the way he plays. You know, he's going to wear down. But I just want to say, gents, I got to bounce. But it's been
my brother.
It's a great show. Keep going. Yeah, keep it flowing, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
Hey,
salute,
CT.
We say,
I love you. The streets are buzzing, brother.
Appreciate you all. Yeah, next real talk.
When's your next show? And put it in the chat. Let people know to like and subscribe. The streets are buzzing.
Yeah, so I'm going on Friday and Saturday as well.
And then,
and then Divine might go on after. Let us know if you're going to go on Friday as well.
Okay, yeah, I posted the location, let you know, and I'm gonna jump in there. You already know, man. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to the Streets of Buzzing channel, man. Quit playing, man. Go check out the show. Check out the video that he ran. They come on once he finished the live stream. You go see the video. Nice content down there, man. Go represent, man. Streets of Buzzing in the building. Peace, CT.
Yeah. Appreciate you and BX. Thanks for stopping by. Look forward to having you back.
You know it.
Keep up that grind. Go Yankees.
Right.
Forget about their Mets.
Oh man, bye.
It's a clean hat.
Yeah, forget about the Mets.
It's a clean hat. I'll give you
Stanton.
that. Yeah. It's the right colors.
Hey, I'm gonna take the Crow. They slipping right now, so but hopefully we be all right though. But
chat. Hold us down. Keep it flowing. I'll see you on the next one. KJ, be well.
You too, CT. Be safe.
Love you, man.
You also.
We love
Divine.
you. We love
brother.
you.
Be well.
Yeah,
man. Hey, Divine. I'm actually about to get up here myself.
Me and you both.
I wanted to thank you as always, Tricky Nikki. Nice meeting you. Like I said, thank you for always being true to the people and who you are and giving us our opinion. You know, like it's not too many like you. And like I said, I tell everybody, tell a friend, subscribe to Real Knicks.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to show something though. I'm gonna put it up to my camera. I picked New York Giants over Washington, but the Jets are gonna lose to the Pats.
I can see that. I can see that.
I got my picks. And I think Daniel Jones will show out this week. And I think Giants fans will have a different tune on Monday morning.
All right, CT, my brother. Listen, man, thank you. I mean, KJ, thank you so much, man. You know the door's always open to you, my brother. You already know. And I'll see you on the next one, man. And we just get it popping again, my brother.
All right, be safe.
All right,
Thank
and
you.
my man, hey, Tricky Nicky, man, give me some last thoughts before we get out of here, man. Thanks for coming on. Pleasure having you.
My last thoughts about this show would be like I didn't even know you, right? You didn't know me. I think I met you on what was it? Border Tears.
No. I know you probably other than Streets of Buzzing. I was on for the Love of the Game one time, and MBK, obviously. You know, that's where I started.
No, well, I'm on for Love of the Game every night, so I didn't meet you from there.
Okay, yeah, because I came in there. It must have been just recently on CT show.
But either way, like, I'm happy to meet you, man.
Oh yeah, brother.
Like I love any fan of New York. Any fan of the Knicks is a fan of mine. And Divine, I'm going to give you a little history and spit it to your fans, okay? This is where I was at. As a little kid growing up in Michigan. FedEx, Michigan. Right in the thumb. I live in FedEx, Michigan. And I love Detroit. You see it. I love Patrick Ewing. You see it. You know?
Yes, sir.
I love John Starks. I love Hubert Davis. I love Greg Anthony. I love Derek Harper. I love Charles Oakley. I love Anthony Mason. I love Charles Smith, even though he missed a lot of shots against the Bulls. I love every Knicks player since 1991 after Michael Jordan and the Bulls beat my Pistons and Isaiah walked off the court. I'm from Michigan. I'm a Lions fan. You can see it. But that's when I became a Knicks fan. A Patrick Ewing fan was 1991. And the reason I became one is they took him to a Game 7. And I was ready for Jordan to lose. And then I think MJ wrote history. And we are where we are today now. I love my 95 Nets when they were in Houston. Sorry they lost. Stark shot bad. I love my 99 Nets when they were in San Antonio in that 52-game season, shortened season. Sorry Marcus Camby and Spreewell and Larry Johnson, Allen Houston, all them boys lost. Look, like, I'm a Knicks fan for life. It's been 31 years. I'm waiting for one, right? So I have nothing but admiration, respect for people like you, Divine. People like you bringing out content that lets the world know who we are. And who we are is we're the Knicks. We're the Knicks. That's all we are. So, love to the chat. Love to any panel I've ever been on. Try never to disrespect each other, accept each other, give people reasons, respect opinions. Go Knicks. This year, we'll be in the playoffs again. We'll get the rant and chant and root again and be angry too. We don't win it, big deal. Big deal. It's not a big deal if we don't win it this year. We got a growing team with Julius Randle, with R.J. Barrett, Kemba Walker, and Rose. I can take those two away. Not going to insert Deuce. I like youth. I like rebuild. Knicks are finally doing it right. James Dolan keeping his mouth shut, doing it right. So with that, what I say is, let's, and I don't want to use Philly's terms. We're not trusting the process. This is what we're doing. we're trusting Tibbs, Leon Rose, Scott Perry, James Dolan, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and Derrick Rose. That's who we trust in right now. And those guys, because you can't tell me Derrick Rose doesn't want a ring.
Oh, yeah.
But those guys are together. They're cohesive right now. They're like you can take your fingers and lock your hands like this and then go, bam. That's where they're at.
Yep.
These Knicks, I guarantee it, within. And the only reason I'm saying this is because Brooklyn's good. Lakers are good. They're better than us. But within 2 to 3 years, watch out, NBA. Because if they do it the way they're doing it, you're looking not at one championship. You're looking at a dynasty like Golden State did. You're looking at maybe 2 to 3 rings in 4 years, or 4 to 5 rings in 7 years. You're looking at something like San Antonio, because they're building the right way now. And I'm going to go out with the chat, and I'm going to tell them this. I love you. I respect you. Your opinions matter to me. Please hit that like. Please subscribe to Knicks Real Talk, because this is Real Talk. Just because I'm wrong doesn't mean you're right. And just because you're right doesn't mean I'm wrong. Opinions matter. Love, salute, good night.
Salute, my man, Tricky Nicky. Thank you, my man. I appreciate everything you just said. I second to a lot of it. No matter where it's coming from, is real. And listen, man, to the chat, Alton Lee, Mal Basta, number 9. Salute to you for coming in, man. And man, to the panel who's up in here, man, Regina Hall, Alton Lee, which is Chris. I think that's Chris there. D Ross, as always, your pleasure. You already know what it is. BX, Brown Sports Jedi, Will. Everybody who came in tonight, man. I know just Uncle Fulio, Queens Court, Allowed Wise, G man, everybody, man. Thank y'all for just coming on tonight, man, hanging out with us.
Can I say one more thing, Divine?
Yeah, go ahead, Tricky Nicky.
One more quick thing. Hey, Melbuster 9 in the chat. Respect you, my brother. Barry Sanders played 10 years. In my opinion, he was the GOAT. He stated Walter Payton was, which I give Barry Sanders mad respect, because Barry Sanders was the type of running back that would hand the football off and never celebrate. And he only played 10 years. Emmitt Smith had to play 19 years just to get the record from Walter Payton. Barry Sanders didn't want it. Mad respect to Melbuster 9.
Yo, salute. Yeah, to the rest of everybody that was out here to the show, man. I appreciate y'all hanging in with us, fellas, man. I know we just we can do this all night, but duty called. We all got responsibilities and things we got to do. So salute to the chat again, man. I thank y'all for being there with us tonight, man, hanging in. And I'll definitely see y'all in the next episode. You already know. And y'all just be safe, man. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll holler at y'all on when the next notification pop out on Sunday, whatever the case may be. Knicks Real Talk. I'm out of here, man. Salute to the panel. CT, the Streets of Buzzing, KJW, Tricky Nicky, BX Sports Jedi. Thank y'all for hopping on with me tonight, man. We just cutting it up. So salute to everybody. Have a good one. I'll see y'all, man.
Yo, salute. Knicks Real Talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Knicks Real Talk. We all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine, Bronx Jedi, 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Knicks Real Talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight. Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it popping. We hopping like topping in the Jumpman brand. Ain't no stopping. Divine and Bronx Jedi, 7-6. We lit from Facebook, Twitter, to Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno with the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we forward the night show. So spike them likes below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up, cause it's Knicks Real Talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Now you place the chats, gonna paste that under space while faces at. We lace these cats with news, notes, stats. Game recap, no hyperbole, we straight facts. In fact, we say it lit like a candle throughout the hand. so subscribe to the channel. Knicks Real Talk. Knicks Real Talk.
Salute everybody. Thanks for chiming in, man. I'll see y'all on the next